How are we all doing, everyone? I hope you're keeping well out there on this very pleasantly mild Sunday evening. Pleasantly mild. It's about 9 degrees outside, which is pretty good for this time of year, considering February after all. We've a couple of people here. Let's see who we've got. We have Norman Donnelly and we have Andy Doswell. Good man, Andy. Always great to see Andy Doswell in the chat. Andy likes to do a bit of what is the word for it? It'll come to me in a minute. Andy likes to fix televisions, primarily. Audio Al is here as well. Good evening, Alan. Nick Kenwood. Good evening, Nick. So we've got 9 people watching. 4 thumbs up. You know what to do, lads. You know who you are. I'm hoping Roundy Mooney will be floating around at some stage too. Missed last Sunday. And we'll get into that later on, but I will be missing a few more. In fact, in a week or two, I'm going to go missing for a while. Impersonation, well, it's sort of a satire thing, isn't it? You know, it's kind of like a spitting image or one of them. Andy, will you be going to the NVCF this year? My boat is booked. However, that does not 100% guarantee my attendance this year. But the boat is booked. If I could just get an audio check off everyone there, or off somebody, just to make sure that I'm getting out okay. And that'll be just super duper. Dennis is here as well. Hello, I'm going to be AFK for a bit. We'll come and join proper in half an hour. That's okay, Dennis. I'll be here for a while anyway. Although I won't be on too late tonight because I have an early start in the morning. I have a bit of business to attend to around the country. I have a few stops to make. I also expecting a telephone call at some stage during the evening, so I may go silent for a while. Audio Al tells me audio is good, which is good because Audio Al knows his audio. Just sitting down to our dinner, JJ, so we'll check in later. Game ball roundy, but thank you for popping in. You'll see in a while. I hear that Roundy Mooney has been walking around Craggy Island impersonating a big blue spanner. Oh, super. Roundy's the top man here. Top man. Kev Beeson as well. So is Barty. And Roundy Mooney says, Roundy Mooney broke his arm this day 2 weeks. Oh, no. Out walking the dog. Oh, shit. I'm sorry to hear that, Mr. Mooney. You didn't need that now. You needed that like a hole in the head. Well, I hope you're okay. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope that dog got a good kick in the hole for itself. Oh, good. Not even a cast. We'll be back in work in the morning. Oh, good, man. Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear it wasn't nothing too serious anyway. I cracked my shoulder. Wasn't the dog's fault, to be fair. No, that's fair enough. We had a little dog here, but sadly we had to have her put down a couple of months ago. It's amazing how attached you become to such animals. Anyway, I'm glad to hear you're okay, Roundy. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. It's terrible to take a tumble like that. You must have fell, obviously, or something. Anyway. Let me see. Where's my little mouse? Where is the mouse? 22 people watching with 9 thumbs up, and Roundy Mooney's busy eating his dinner, so I am the one, but I'll have to remind you to bang the thumbs up button now. Andy Doswell. I see, Andy, you are also getting into modern TV repair. Perish the thought. Funny enough, I've got a few here now, and they all have the same problem: backlights. So I've got one to do for another friend of mine. Backlights are on the slow boat. All the parts come on the slow boat. I'm not a commercial enterprise, so I won't pay commercial spare parts prices. Mark's NTL is in here as well. Good evening, Mark. Yeah, backlights seem to be the biggest killer of televisions these days, whereas 10 years ago, I would have said that it was electrolytic capacitors in the power supply. They seem to be pretty faultless these days. So let me see. The chat's moving pretty quick. What I need to do is I need to change the display settings on my computer because I can hardly see. I've had between the last live and today's live, I've had serious computer issues, and my computer requires a new hard drive. So I'm using a backup computer here. It's a small form Dell Optiplex 3020 running Windows 10, but it's not configured or anything to my settings, and so on and so forth. Computers are not my thing. However, a friend of mine is going to deal with that for me. Zoom 125. Yeah, that's better. I usually leave the window zoomed in 125%. Just makes seeing the chat a little bit easier from here. Now, where was I? And the other thing is the audio definition or the video definition with this computer is pretty poor. It's a little bit smeary, and that I think it's down to the lead that I'm running. It's one of the old VGA leads I'm using for this. Anyway, having said all that, Norman Donnelly, let me see. Norman Donnelly's here. Yeah, well, we seen that. It takes a computer to make a real cup. It sure does. It sure does. I hate computers. I am not naturally computer gifted. Bob Dog the Second asks, "Do you make a living, JJ?" I hope I make a living. Fixing old school item, Bob, Great Britain. No, I don't. It's only a hobby for me. The odd repair I would do for people. At one time, I used to advertise myself and do quite a few repairs. But it was a time versus money thing for me, and people weren't willing to spend what I wanted for my time because I like to do other shit as well. So if I'm going to spend my time fixing your shit, I want to be paid well for that because I could be doing something else that I want to do. So that's the crack with me. No, I do the odd repair, but no, it's not my primary sole source of income, and I think it'd be hard enough to make a living at it. Roundy Moon says, before I take the leg lamb out of the oven, give JJ an L thumbs up, please, and thanks. Thanks, Roundy. Leg of lamb, I love a leg of lamb. It's my favourite dinner. And of course, then afterwards, when everyone's had their bit, I go scurrying into the corner with the leg, chew on it like a bulldog. So who else have we got here? So far, and I will read chat participants because that always kills a second or two. Audio Wall, Bob, Dog the Second, Mark, NTL, Michael White, Normal Donnelly, Roundy Mooney, White Sapphire, and Barney Basket. Looking good. Have we anyone else here that wants to make themselves known in the chat? Hopefully. My cats are listening. Does that count? That counts. That counts. We'll mark them in as two. Michael Dranfield, on your early. You're on early, and I'm just on my way out, but we'll be walking for 20 minutes. So listen on my way down. Won't be back till after 10 though. I might be gone by 10, but we'll see, Michael. Butcher, we'll catch you again in the near future if not. I am on early. I have to get up early, so not too early, but I said I'd come on early and get out of the way. I catch a few of the early boards who don't often make the evening stream, you see. That was the plan anyway, Michael. I hope you're keeping well, Michael. I have an envelope. I'm a very bad man because I have something here to send to Michael. And it has gotten as far as being put into an envelope with a stamp on it, and it's sitting in my kitchen waiting to go in the post box. But that special note will be on its way to you in the very, very, very near future. I know you aren't in a mad hurry for it. And listen on my phone on the way down. Michael's going for a point, I think, with the sounds of it. Al says that pie car radio you fixed, if you didn't have Racing Demon just jumped in here as well. I hope you're keeping well, sir. I hope you're keeping well. I seen you earlier on in Andy's live stream. I clocked into Andy's live stream for a few minutes, and I also clocked into Radio Cruncher's live stream for maybe 10 or 15 minutes as well. Just when I was eating my dinner. But Andy's, of course, when I clocked in, sadly, I clocked into Andy's first, but as you know, nothing was happening. It had stalled. Thank you very much for the donation, by the way. That goes a long way to heating the shed here. That's greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. Buy myself a nice piece of pie, Odge Nodge. Oh, yeah. Wonderful. Thank you. That means a lot. Audio says, if I didn't have germanium transistors, I could have used silicon. I could have used silicon. But I just had them to hand, so that's what went in. Yeah, if I had to, I could use silicon PNP TO3 K-Star. Something I could have bodged in anything of loads of different ones, but I just thought I'd keep it simple. As I had them in stock, I have a few, 5 or 6 left. I think someone in the video, one of the videos, commented that you should keep the germanium transistors and using silicon. But you're like, there's no point having them in the drawer if I'm not going to use them. I've 6 of them there 15 years and I've never used one yet. So I had it. One of them got their big day out, so there was no panic. But of course, yeah, if someone was working on one and they had no stock, they couldn't dare use a silicon PNP transistor as the output, especially in class A to make no odds. White Sapphire says, what's the label hanging down from the ceiling right next to the safe light? This. Oh yeah, right. I'll give you a look at this. Okie dokie. A couple of years ago, I was in the recycling centre recycling some cardboard. And in the cardboard waste, I found 2 ripped up Roberts R707 cardboard boxes. And inside them, 2 of these labels, which were placed around, I think, the volume pot when you bought a brand new Roberts radio. So it was, Roberts. Whatever. Didn't think much of it. I went up to the area where you put your wee waste in to get rid of some crap that I had. And sitting on the table was 2 brand new old stock Roberts radios. Someone had gone down to the recycle centre, taken the Roberts radios out of their box, recycled the cardboard, and then put the two radios on the table for recycling. And I still have the two of them here. Never has anyone seen two items go under someone's Crombie coat quicker. And they're still here. Now, they're not a wonderful radio, but the fact that they were brand new, it's a shame that the boxes have been ripped up, or it would have went back for them too. So that's the story with that label is. And I'll be quite honest, I mislaid the other label, so I don't know where it is, but it's here somewhere. No rush with the nut. Working on one of your RBM TVs at the moment. Oh, that'll make a good video. Oh yeah, of course they have those horrible modules with the naughty transistors in them, which we're all too well aware of. Just goes to show everything has a story. Everything has a story. Everything has a story of some description or other. You'd see that now, and you just say that's a bit of paper hanging down out of a ceiling, and there you go. I do. You will have to forgive me if I sound a bit sniffly in the microphone. I have a slight head cold on me at the minute, so I apologise if I'm sniffling into the microphone. I should probably do that. Everything has a story. That is true. That is certainly true. Let's see. We've 29 watching with 17 thumbs up. I'll have to do the roundy moundy thing. You know, come on, lads. The computer is doing something really weird tonight. And I don't think I'm going to be able to show you. Oh, well, maybe I will. Right, here, watch this. Right, this is weird. Now, as I say, this isn't my daily driver computer. It's a spare for such instances. Let's just say, right? If we can just turn this around. Now, I don't know how this is going to work out. Maybe we can see the chat, right? And that's weird. For me, the timestamp is reversed. But if you look up here, that's normal and it looks reversed to you. But the timestamp is reversed. Why is that? I've never seen that before. Maybe this old computer isn't too happy with YouTube. I don't know. Unusual. So anyway, to those of you Kev B has spent a couple of hours repairing an alien. Well, if your aim was to confuse, you have won. You have won the prize, Kev. No, they work well when they work. They certainly do. What else? I have an old Echo radio with a similar module in it. Oh no. Oh no. Am I still getting out? Let me see. Nope. I have a problem here. I don't know if I'm still getting out. Sound still good. Have you got picture as well? Because my picture has frozen here on the monitor. Now I can live with that if I'm still getting out. Working here, alright. It's only stopped for me. There's obviously some glitch with my computer. I don't know. But if I'm still getting out, that's okay. I don't need to see myself as such. The chat is still coming up and the chat is still live. But my little monitor where I can see myself And even the clock is still running. But it must be something to do with the fact that the time is backwards and all on it. Oh wait, it's back. It's back. That's weird. Oh, can't wait to get my computer fixed. Yeah, sound and video good. Yeah, no, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back in colour. I don't know what's going on. Strange. Anyway, that's after upsetting me. Chipmunk is here. We've missed you for the last couple of weeks, Chipmunk. Good to have you back. I hope you're keeping well. Andy Doswell's going. He's making a video about his new pattern generator. That's all right, Andy. Just make sure you come back when you're finished. Don't take too long. Don't forget to mention your favourite YouTuber. YouTube hadn't fed the hamster in the wheel. I don't think it had. The Wavesmith, your sound and vision is sound as a pound, I'll take that. Working well, better than Andy's. Working better than Andy's, that wouldn't be hard. Yeah. We'll meet up. Sure, if you're at the MVCF, I'll see you then. Or I might see you before then. We shall see what happens. White sapphires, it's because these are small, but thousands are far away. It could be a bit of that. Maybe turn the computer off and turn it back on again. Oh no, don't do that. No, you don't want me to do that, Mr. White. Unless you want to be looking at a blank screen, do give me a thumbs up if you are enjoying the video, the live stream. Now unplugging again. Yeah, that was comical, alright. I still get a kick out of that when I think about it. Could happen to Saint though. One of the things I miss with this computer, of course, compared to my old one, the proper one that I use has a Wi-Fi module in it, so we can hotspot off it, and it's really good. It's quite fast. So, because the internet in the shed isn't very good here. The Alien is one of those ones out of the claw machine, in Toy Story. Leaked batteries, corrosion up the wires and onto the ended up in a full rewire. Every time we fixed one, another one fell off. Kev. Never simple. You need a load of outdoor rated Cat 5. I have of Cat 5 coming from the house into the computer direct. And that's then I use the proper computer that lives here. We use that as a hotspot. And it all works very well when it works. Of course, the usual computer is also a Dell Optiplex 3020, which is, it's getting on a bit. A mate of mine did a lot of work on it. You put in a 1000-watt power supply into it and a video card, some snazzy video card, and I think it's got 16 gig of RAM, a few other bells and whistles. It is a good machine that's working, but the hard drive wasn't in the best of health when we got it, so we knew it was gonna crap out on us at some stage. So I think we're going down the solid state route. What is it with battery leakage, wicking up wires? Always seems to be the negative that is worse. That's right. Dell Optiplexes were good machines. Yeah. The big one now, it's a great yoke. It's absolutely great. The small farm ones, of course, you can't really do much with them because they're small. You can't fit much in them or do mess around with them. You just haven't got the space in there. So, but even it's a handy machine. Edward O'Toole is here. Good evening, Edward. It's good to have you aboard, sir. Yes. So I think we'll go for the poll anyway. We'll go for a quick poll. Engage with our audience, it asks. No, that's not working. Oh, wait, I have to do that. Yeah, that's right. Of course, the Pi car radio, the Pi 1000, which is this one here. Oh, yeah, getting into the surface mount, Kev, you know, precision work and what have you. You know, big into the precision work now. Yeah, it's great, you know, for the small stuff, it's just super. So that's the Pi car radio. It's in lovely nick. It was worth doing. It was worth doing. Now getting in to change the dial bulbs now was a bit of crack. But well worth doing. If I was going to use this in a car, I'd probably go back in and do a bit of remedial work. And you know, if I was going to sell it to someone or give it to someone for their vintage car, I'd probably go in and change all the electrolytics and do all that kind of shit. But it was just a get me going video, and it's going. It's a lovely radio. I'm surprised at how sensitive it is. You should give the Pi radio away as a prize. Well, who would win, you say? And how to do it fairly, Al? How to do it fairly? I don't know. I think I'll hold on to it for a while. There's a bit of shit here I probably could give away. Overbuilt automotive from East Tennessee. Is that right? Have I got that right? TN is Tennessee, isn't it? I hope so. Chipmunk Dab is a waste of time. We know that. They have abandoned it here in Ireland. It never caught on. So commercial FM is going to be kicking around in Ireland for a long time. I reckon. Well, I think online stuff is going to be the way forward, but I think commercial radio is going to be safe in Ireland for at least 10 years, if not a little bit longer, maybe 20. Don't know about the UK though, because I know DAB is still a thing there, and I think I have heard, and I hope to be mistaken, but that at the end of March they're turning off the telly switch, the nighttime rate meters in the UK, the old ones that were worked off the long wave telly switch signal are being done away with. That means that Droitwich and Radio 4 could be endangered greatly, which is very sad news. I think this year could be a very, very bad year indeed for Tennessee. Yes, I'm glad I got that right. TN, yeah. I used to know all the states, the abbreviations, but I've forgotten most of them over the years. But it's great to have you aboard, sir. I'm always blown away with all the different places people are watching me from. It's incredible. Uh, 198 will not go away because it's called us to launch our missiles at Moscow. I think they knocked off that bit of it a while ago. Unfortunately, it'll be really sad to see 198 go. I mean, it's such a great signal here. But not like on RTE, they haven't turned down the wick, so you know it's a decent signal in most places. Radio 4 is trying to go off air for years and years. Yeah, they are, Dennis. And I don't know, 25 years ago, this coming up topic coming up several times. Yeah. The problem is now, you see, you're seeing a mass exodus from medium wave and long wave. So we've lost Luxembourg on long wave only recently. We've lost Absolute. And we've also lost a few other little small stations off medium wave. The other ones are tied in with Power Media. Not what were they called? Not Gold, but something like Gold. You know, they're all on the way out. What the answer to this is, I don't know. Now, as we're aware and I've often spoken about here before, is the system that the Dutch have in place, where you can party on as much as you like in America, up to 100 milliwatts, and then you can also apply for a 1 watt license, or you can, and I think you can apply for higher power licenses up to like 20 watts or something as well in cases. If a case like that came into Ireland and the United Kingdom, that'd be wonderful, because you know, like-minded people like us could play music to one another over medium wave, and that would be really wonderful. In the meantime, what have we got to look forward to? Well, at night time we've all those Spanish stations, and we have Radio Caroline. We have Manx Radio. I don't know what the situation is with Manx Radio going forward. I'm going to send them an email just to ask them outright. You know, when do you think you're going to be switching off your medium wave transmitters, if you are? They have FM transmitters, and one of the reasons why they kept their medium wave transmitter on for so long was to serve the fishermen of the Isle of Man in the Irish Sea. But the FM signal itself across water probably goes as far as the medium wave, so it's probably not a big deal. Get Clive to drive over there and ask. Driver Film Shortwave says medium wave pirates, and of course that is, yeah, you're gonna see the Dutch higher powered medium wave pirates coming down from the lofty heights of 1600 to 1650. I think they will slip down the band a bit. That's a good point, says Chipmunk. Radio 4 and 198 carries the shipping forecast. It does. But I know a few people that are I know one gentleman who's an officer on a merchant navy vessel, and I know a couple of people who are skippers of trawlers around here, and sometimes I ask them, do you ever listen to the shipping forecast? And the answer is no, because they do what you or I do to pick this up. What's the weather going to be like? And they have satellite internet on the boats now and everything. They don't tune in 200 kilohertz anymore. Manx claims they were the first independent station. They were all, I think. They were the first independent station in the UK, because a friend of ours who knows worked in Pye, and Pye in Dundrum supplied the first medium wave transmitter to Manx Radio, and he was over there. Racing Demon says, as I am not well, I will have to get rid of a large collection of television magazines down the line. Any ideas, John Joe? Not off the top of my head, Racing Demon. No, I would have most of them. In fact, I haven't gone through them all to know which ones I'm missing. It's going to be very hard to get rid of them, I'm afraid, Racing Demon. I'm sorry to hear that you're not well, by the way. I read that in Andy's live stream, and yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I really am. Uh, I don't know. You could try on the UK Vintage Radio Forum, or perhaps the VRAT forum that White Sapphire is on. She will tell you. Might be hard to get rid of them because I think most of them are online on the American Radio History Forum. Although I read last week on the UK Vintage Radio Forum that the American Radio History Forum is running into trouble with copyright, and some of the stuff has already been taken down, which is sad to hear. So, unfortunately, Mr. Damon, I'm not sure. Leave it with me. Maybe send me an email and I'll think about it. I might come up with a better idea in a few days. Just off the top of my head, I haven't got a solution to your issue right off the bat. So that's all I can say on that. Kev B says, new Northwest Computer Museum is open and well worth a visit. Oh. Overbuilt almost. Post them on eBay, see if anyone would like them. That's a good idea, Mr. Automotive, but the problem with that is you have to do it. So the individual return for a magazine and posting them out and all, it is quite time consuming, which isn't ideal if you've other issues going on. But it is an idea, definitely. It's just going 20 to 8. You'd have to send as a batch or do local pickup. Yeah. The UK government fought to prevent indie stations for decades. Manx jumped the gun before it was really legal. And this is how they can claim to be the first. I do know that Manx Radio were in negotiations with Ronan O'Rahilly of Caroline fame back in the late 60s. He was going to buy them out. But for whatever reason, it didn't come to pass. And it never happened. But Manx Radio could have turned into Radio Caroline. And then that's how they would have had the license. They would have been legal because they would have bought the existing license off Manx. Does anyone have a few large airspace variable capacitors, any values they would love to get rid of to someone who can barely pay for the postage for a project that might get me back on the air? Tell us more, Dennis. This sounds interesting. What are you looking to do or rebuild? Be nice for someone who would use them. Yeah, it would indeed, Mr. Damon. I do hope you find a home for them. Yeah, leave it with me. Did you say it to Andy? Because Andy might know someone who might need them over there. Ah, bloody hell. Now the chat's after freezing on me too. This isn't good. Now the chat's frozen on me. I don't even know if I'm getting out or not now. I think I am because the picture's still down. Oh. Let me see if there's shades of Andy going on here tonight. I have no internet here, so I've no idea. Fucking hell. Oh, I'm back. Jeez, this little. I have a feeling I might need to update this computer. I had not been used in a long time. It's only a backup, so yeah. Uh, right, I'll just catch up with these quickly. Chipmunk, right? I read the one Dennis's one about the caps. So a few Dennis, but I have one at least in a vintage radio that Royal Mail or at least destroyed. Oh god. Racing Demon doesn't want to bend them, and I can understand that. Kev B tells me I'm still alive. Yes, still alive. John Joe says, Chipmunk, give the thumbs up, people, so we can see the thumb count going. Ha ha ha! I see, I like your style. I see a replacement for Mr. Nunny. Sorry, Roundy. Roundy's back. Shrub. I'm told a mag loop might be good for my serious noise. I have doubts, but I'll try anything. Have you tried going mobile? Maybe something like the DL2 MAN, low power QRP, but mobile and away from your noise might be a way forward. Should be okay. Now, I know that's not practical all the time either. Mag loops do cut down on noise. Should be okay now. I just closed the poll. Did you? Yeah. If you close the poll, it's still running for me. I have no idea what's going on here tonight. YouTube has lost its mind. I tell you what, I'm going to close the poll at my end as well. End poll. One person did not like my car radio video. I know who that is as well, actually. But it's okay. I forgive them. That leg of lamb was good enough for Jehovah. Oh, stop making me hungry, you get you. Andy Tobin, your audio video on chat was seamless through it all, my friend. Thank you, Mr. Tobin. It's good to have you aboard as well, sir. Dennis wouldn't have been able to be legal for Caroline to take over. Manx. People convicted of piracy were forbidden to own or work in radio unless it was the BBC. Yeah, but I'm sure he would have found a way around that. Set up a new board and put a few heads on it that weren't convicted or whatever. There's ways around these things, but that was the talk anyway. It never came to anything. So there was also talk of a long wave station starting up in the Isle of Man a couple of years ago, but that came to nothing as well. Love a bit of vintage car radio, says Wayne Sharp. Good. That brings me to my next point, but that'll have to wait till I come back because I need to go and see a man about a dog. And I can't leave you without some entertainment. And of course, you all know what that means. That means finding the squinty fellas. Do 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 do.
Head collection center. They took a photo of the car on the way. I don't know who did it.
Ah, lovely. A bit of radio talkie for you tonight. Oh no. Oh no. It's Chinese with singers. Wonderful. This is quite a rare treat. Have some vocal traditional Chinese music. I'll see you in a few minutes, lads. Thanks. Aha! We're back. If I get a copyright strike, that's alright. Well, they're not strikes, they're usually copyright notices, and then they take their share of the poison. We're not only after the ad revenue, luckily. So if someone is generous enough to give me the money, I'll keep that. Which is always welcome. Now, where was I? Is everyone still with me? How many? We've 34 viewing at the minute, which is wonderful. Thank you all. Now, let me see. Yeah, that's enough for her. I do like the drive. He's fucking mad here. She sing like a recipe for sweet and sour and Labrador. Jenny BVR's here. Hello, sir. Chinese Jimi Hendrix. Manx were after the power increase to 100. Then Caroline would have dropped like a hot brick, yeah. Chinese car chargers will kill the car they're connected to first. You're coming in loud and clear. Rubber up, lol. Edward Hotel. Yep. It like one can own a doctor's. What? One can own a doctor's office. Just have a doctor working for your. Oh, you're probably right there. Is it Chinese radio? London boy. Taste of China just around the corner from this cinema. I'm off to the shop for beer while he's gone. Good idea. EI3 IB is here. Great. The Great Wall Live. Hello, sir. How are you? Whereabouts are you located, Sid? Just a rough geographical location, obviously. Chinese Madonna. Get some crisps. Even the film Rock Dog. Ever seen the film Rock Dog? I have not. Biggest country in the world, and that's why what they come up with. No, don't be mean, Roundy. Let us all listen to 7215 kilohertz. Why not, Jana? Wonder what she's singing about. Something to do with empirical. Oh yeah, but balloons. It's giving me a headache, like singing Cats. 98 red balloons since they shot that one down. And so. Xiaomi Cash and Milne Carter. I'm going to Shanghai. Most like country music. The wife up and left me and the cow stopped milking. Yeah, it's in Japan. They speak in reverse. If you play it backwards, he gets his wife back, the dog back, and his job back. A bad version of The Great Gig in the Sky. Sorry, John Joe, have to make Mrs. Demon some supper. Look after yourself. Bye, radio and TV rascals. Racing Damon, well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Greatly appreciated. And I hope you'll come in again very soon. That's very good of you. Well, yeah, we hope you catch you soon. And maybe you might make it to the NVCF when it's on. And I get to meet you in person if you're in that neck of the woods, sir. With a bit of luck. 3 IEB is in Sandyford. Audio Wild says, was that North Korea state radio you were playing? No, it wasn't. It was Chinese state radio. I don't think North Korea is on at this time of night. They come on during the day though, and we can hear them. 17 something kilohertz. They have an English program for an hour. Is that a donation towards singing lessons, says Jerry? Oh, wonderful. Well, take care of yourself, Mr. Damon. And we'll catch you in the next one. Let me see. Where was I then? She says she's in great pain and wishes to be boiled. She boiled those clams for a further 20 minutes. Oh dear. Oop. I got myself a little, well, it was free in the wee skip and walk, little radio controlled clock. I'm going to turn off the heat. Only the heat. Now, I'm going to have a bottle of stout. And we'll see where the evening takes us after that. And we will get the mouse and scroll down the chat so we can see what's going on in the world. Are we ready? This works better with a lighter, but needs must and so on. We'll see how we get on. Ah, you bastard. That's how you do it. That's the proper way to open a bottle of stout. Find if you pop the cap off real quick like that, you generally get a nice enough head on the bottle of stout. Whereas if you take it off slowly with a bottle opener, it doesn't have the desired effect. Mooney says he's going to join me. Any progress with the diesel here? None really, Kevin. No, I have to set it up properly outside. So for the time being, I've stopped using it. So I'm back to electric heat. I just haven't got the time at work. I'm going to get home in the evenings. It's dark. And this is the phone call I was telling you about. So I'm going to have to take this. I'll be back with you in a second. Now, that's all right. There's a new shipment coming in from Colombia tomorrow. Where's Underscore? I don't see Underscore's name mentioned here. Is he here? Airvine 70 is here. Good evening, sir. Speaking of Radio Caroline founder, when he died there a few years back, no one was at his funeral due to COVID. Oh, yeah, that's right. I think it was towards the end of 2019, wasn't it? If I remember correctly. And Annie, Far 64. I gave champion on the go. Jerry asks, JJ, is this 1900 start the new standard? Just so I can set my mental alarm clock for the future. No. Now, that's something I've been meaning to come to. So, there's 34 people watching now. So, the majority of my regular viewers are probably watching right now. So, I want to get into this while you're all here. And I don't really want to repeat this over and over. And that's why I was sort of waiting until we got midway through the live stream to get into this. And I don't get into personal business, as you know, and I'm not going to change that as such. But there's going to be a few changes in the near future. And I'm not going to be about as much. And there will be no live streams for the month of March. Right? So I can tell you that now. Month of March, I am off air. So most likely we'll have a live stream next Sunday, but that could maybe the following Sunday. I will let you know for sure, not during the week before. But month of March, I'm gone. I'm missing. I won't be around. And video might come up and a video may not come up. But I will be offline for live streams for the month of March. So that's the crack with that. So I won't be around. So that's the crack, Jerry. So I can't. As for is 7 o'clock going to be the new standard? It depends. It's going to be either 7 o'clock or 9 o'clock. It's going to be one or the other. But what I will do is I will endeavour to let you know going forward past all this. I will be looking to let you all know by Wednesday what time the Sunday live stream will start. But it will either be 7 or 9. But that's the crack. That's the best I can do for you at the minute. But I just wanted to update you. There's going to be a few other responsibilities I'm going to have to take care of here for a while. So that's just going to cut back my time for all this. So all this is going to get abandoned. For a little while, unfortunately. But responsibilities, obviously, in life come first. So what we got? O'Reilly was a mere spokesman by 65 to 68 without the North Ship Caroline. Caroline was bust. OFC. A Dulce. Chipmunk says, but I will have withdrawal symptoms. Oh, I'm very sorry. Yeah, shame. You're the only live stream I watch. Oh, well, thank you very much, Far64. That means a lot. I don't think a lot of people can say that they only have one person who they watch for a live stream. So that means a lot. Thank you. Rayborn says, how are you all? Not so bad, Ray. Not so bad. Jerry says, YouTube only notified him 10 minutes ago. YouTube's a bollocks. I've been finding that. Chipmunk says he watches quite a few live streams, but mainly biglive.com. High Voltage JC, Overtime, and me. I'm wonderful. Well, I mean, I'm up there with good company, that's for sure. Thank you very much, Chipmunk. Am I right in saying, Chipmunk, you moderate on the Big Clive Live? I think I've seen a blue spanner beside your name on that. Budgel Moore is going down well tonight. I only have the one, though. Jerry says, I also found I was unsubbed. I find that happens to me too, Jerry. That there will be channels I would regularly watch, and I just noticed for some reason they stopped coming up. And probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks goes by, and you think, Jesus, I wonder what the story is with that particular channel. And you stick them into the search bar, and it comes up, and then you realise, hold on a minute, I'm unsubscribed. How did that happen? But it bloody does happen. And I think it's happened to subscribers of mine in the past as well, where they've told me that they've found themselves unsubscribed. And, you get a comment like, oh, I haven't seen a video of yours in months. I thought you'd given up YouTube or something. And then, they get into it and they realise that Kev B picked up some Guinness crisps before, just opened them, not keen. I don't like the sound of that now, to be honest. I like to drink me stout and eat me crisps, but after that. Do you like the little tiny voice I got for clamping onto the side of the bench? It's actually very handy if of poor construction. Unbranded, painted blue though, probably record blue, but tiny jaw. I think it's like 1.5 inch jaw, or maybe even 1.25 inch. But it's handy for soldering stuff, and you can clamp it onto the edge of the bench. Well, to be fair, a good stout you have to chew, exactly, just like a good real ale. Oh, the last time was in England when I went to visit Michael Dranfield. I also went to visit my father, who lives in Colville, which is in a town which is in Leicester. And we went for a few pints, and he brought me down to the Bowser. He brought me to a few Bowsers actually, but one of them they sold. Can't remember the name of the stuff, but it was real proper ale, and it was like a pint of Guinness, real thick, proper eating and drinking stuff, and it was gorgeous. Really lovely stuff. Then after that, we was starving. It was about 8 or 9 at night. I said, I'll have to eat something to eat. So we went across the road to Wetherspoons. It was the only place where I get food at that time of night. And I got a pint of ale there, and it was just like drinking water. It was like fucking, you knew straight away the difference, the real ale and the watery down shit that Wetherspoons are selling. But no, the Brits do ale. You do lovely stuff, in fairness to you. You do lovely care. So that's the crack with that. So looking forward to going over to the MVCF. If I can make it. As I say, I'm booked on the boat, but I don't know. It's a little bit up in the air, but all being well, I'll get there. You need a voice to keep you in the van, Chipmunk. Hold on, I've missed something here. I also found I was on. Oh yeah, no, I read that. No heating, ventilating, air conditioning overtime, John Joe. Clive put me onto it because he has a history in high. Oh, we voted. Oh. Heating, ventilation, air conditioning. That's what that stands for. No, it's always high fault, JC. Wants to show you a line now. This is the highlight of my Sundays, says Dennis. I wouldn't get out of bed if it wasn't for this. Give it up. No, you don't mean that. Funnily enough, I got a notification for a Turtle Fixes All video today, about 3 hours after YouTube's all over the shop. I don't think they're spending the money on the the software infrastructure part of it, because it's getting very glitchy lately. Like this, I notice when I scroll back up the chat that I see stuff that it wasn't there before, and I'm in live chat mode. Let me see. Lock-picking lawyer. Yeah, I've watched him over the years. He's very good. And you too. That happened me, Chipmunk. I found I was unsubscribed for him and had missed his videos after about 3 months or so. And you don't really, like I'd watch his stuff and it'd come up or whatever, and I'd watch some of it and wouldn't watch other bits or whatever. But yeah, it unsubscribed. So it does that. And I don't noticed that. My subscriber count would, on average, generally just sort of tiddle up, tiddle up, tiddle up like that, right? And I don't know what the average is 60 subscribers a month now or something like that. And sometimes it peaks at like 100 subscribers a month. But every now and then, I'll notice it'll climb up to say, I don't know, an arbitrary figure of 2,287, right? And it'll sit there for a day or two. And sometimes it'll go back down. It'll go, it could go down to 2,272. And then all of a sudden it'll come back up. And I think what's happening is there's people still subscribing, but they're deleting subscribers as well. Because it makes no sense. But I don't know. YouTube is very fickle. It's not something for the people who watch YouTube. For the people who make a living on YouTube. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be giving up the day job for YouTube unless I was making an awful lot of money. Awful. Chipmunk says, draft is the only Guinness I can drink though. The canned is not nice to me. Yeah, the canned Guinness is not the same. It's alright to a point. Google has been forced unsubscribing people randomly. I have exported my 700 plus subscriptions and dropped them into a new pipe. So we still get notifications. May all your voices be little ones so roundy. You need a voice to keep you up in the van, Chipmunk. I see that now. I see that comment. Those small voices are useful for keeping me in the van. Yeah, right. Okay. Wayne Sharp is away, is he? Take it easy, folks. Early starting. All right, Wayne. Good luck. Thanks for tuning in, pal, and we'll catch you in the next one. Wetherspoons did great guest ales. I don't know if they do it now. My wife loved Kilkenny in a pub in East Withering where Kilkenny. Jesus, I haven't drank that in years. I'll never forget when I was about 15. We were very bold. We used to stand outside the off license and ask people to go in and buy us cans, right? And this old boy come up the road anyway, and I said to him, I want 4 cans of Tennent's lager. I gave him, I don't know, the £6.40 or whatever the fuck it was. And he came out 10 minutes later with 4 cans of Kilkenny Irish Ale, whatever the fuck it is. It's the only time we ever drank it. I'll never forget sitting in my mate's bedroom. I was 15, which is 20 years ago, which is frightening when you think about it. Drinking this stuff, listening to Iron Maiden. It was actually quite nice. But yeah, Kilkenny. I don't wouldn't mind the port I would get. It was more expensive, and I gave him the £6.40 or €6.40 for the few cans of Tennent's. I remember coming out and saying that was $7.20 or whatever, but it's all right, son. There you go. And off he went. Jesus, they were pretty harmless days when you think about it. When you see what the kids are at now with the nitrous oxide and all that kind of shit. I wonder if it's YouTube's way of slapping the naughty boys. You wouldn't know, Jerry. It could be, or it could be that YouTube is so glitchy and shit that when they take a server down or whatever, a lot of people lose a lot of random subscribers. Then it says, fair, you joke. When I worked for Little Chef, we had a large cooker called a Master Chef. You told it what preset meal you wanted, and it could cook a steak in seconds, browned perfectly. What? Sounds like some machine. Far 64. And was it a cooker or was it a? It was obviously some sort of microwave with a ring inside it that could brown things as well. Yeah. Driver shortwave film had something similar at work. Would cook bacon baps in 20 seconds. Weatherspoons used to be nice, but then their boss dude decided to be vehemently pro-Brexit. Yes, he did. I don't know that because there's Weatherspoons in Dublin now. Now, there isn't many of them. I think there might be 6. There might be 6 now. And the first Weatherspoons, the first Weatherspoons in Ireland, the one in Swords, I think it was, which was coincidentally the primary school that I went into was turned into a Weatherspoons. I think it was that. No, it wasn't. I think there was one in Dundrum first. Might have been the second one. I'm going back about 12 years now. But yeah, Weatherspoons. Yeah, so my primary school got turned into a Weatherspoons. It was an awful. It wasn't even Victorian. It was pre-Victorian building. It was built in 1806, and the plaster used to fall down on top of our heads. It was an awful fucking place, full of bastard teachers. Anyway, swiftly moving on. Kilkenny, is that like Smillies? Yeah, it's that kind of tack, Jerry. Bacon was easy, says Dennis. 3 seconds in the deep fryer and 10 on the sloped griddle was perfect. The griddle dried the oil off, and the crisping was amazing. Sounds good, alright. It's scary, John Joe. When I had to tell a customer that I'd been an electrician for 32 years, oh, Jesus, chipmunk. Yeah, unreal. We're getting old. You might be a little bit older than me, but not much. Please tell me the pub was called the Merry Teacher. No, the pub kept its name. The Old Bro. Weatherspoons took over the best nightclub here. Hate them, says Far. Yeah, you know, when I go to the UK as a traveller over there, the only thing I know about them is I know exactly what I'm going to get, more or less. And you know, they're handy that way, and of course, if you're a local alcoholic, they're cheap. I mean, the price of drink in England compared to the price of drink here is unbelievable. I'd be a fucking alcoholic if I lived in England. You know, like pint of Guinness here now is minimum 5 something. You know, 5.50. If you get a pint of Guinness for under 5 in Ireland now, you're doing really well for yourself. As far as it has no soul, but it's cheap. Yeah, and if you're in good company, of course, that makes all the difference. And as Roundy Mooney says, the pubs are getting quieter, and more pubs are closing. You know, most main streets and most towns in Ireland would have had between 10 and 20 pubs on them. Now it's between 2 and 3. Young people don't drink anymore. You know, I was probably the last of what you would have called the pub drinking generation, where, you know, I went to the pub most evenings a week for 2 or 3 pints, just to have a yap with the lads, watch the football on the telly or whatever. Play a round of darts or a game of pool. That's gone. no one came after my generation into that kind of thing. They now they go home from work if they work, and they put the headset on and they do online gaming or some shit. Are they drinking each other's houses? But I don't even think that's a big thing anymore. I think they're the online headset, which is, I don't know. I think something very sad about all that. I really do. Roundy Mooney says Spoons is alright for what? Is there any Spoons down in Cork, Roundy? This is a matter of interest. He may have opened one down there, I think. Roundy Mooney came out with his time in 1998. The summer of 98. I can just say you, Roundy. Big afro on you. Chipmunk is 50 in April. That's not old. Fuck's sake. Let me see. "30 years dry, Jerry doesn't touch a drop." You know what? He's bloody right too. I often thought about it myself. I like a little drink though, but I do have a feeling I'm going to give it up at some stage for good. I do go through long dry spells, and then then I don't know. Some evenings I'll just come home and I'll just go. I'll have a drink, but I've often gone 3-4 months without a drink at all. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. I like the taste of a bottle of stout or glass of whiskey or whatever. I do. But you've often seen me out here on Sundays and live streams where I'm drinking water. And, it just depends on my mood. But the old days where I would have went out 5 nights a week or whatever, them days are gone. Definitely. I wouldn't be interested in them. And, of course, the crowd isn't there anymore either. All those fellas have moved on or killed themselves. Which sadly, that might sound like a flippant remark, but sadly it's true. There was a gang probably of about a wider circle of friends, probably about 50 of us, and at least 15 of those have done away with themselves in the last 10 years. So, that kind of puts a dampener on the whole thing at large then. There was a spate of suicides sort of between 2009 and 2014, where it was just fucking mad. There was, every couple of months, another one of the lads was after doing something silly. Which is, it's a serious thing just to take on board for a second, because in Ireland, and the Irish viewers will attest to this, if you're under 50 and you're a man, you're more than likely going to die at your own hand than of a car accident or cancer combined. So, when you just take that figure in for a second, it gives you an idea. Dennis Chipmunk says they should deregulate government. Reminds me, I forgot the red wine chin chin. Haha, good man. Audio, the smoking ban had a major impact on pub life. It did. But then a lot of, there isn't as many people smoking now as there would have been at that time. And, we noticed that in my last job, the new people coming through all the time, you'd say to them, smoking break now for 5 minutes, whoever wants to go out. And towards the end, it was very rare that anyone would want to go out because the amount of people weren't smoking. Whereas at the start, 75% of them were going out the door for the cigarette, which isn't a bad thing, of course. Bob Dog the second. These YouTube names catch me. I got my first electrical qualification in 81, City and Guilds. Yeah, 81. Yeah, don't do the maths. Should have kept smoking rooms. The control of us all continues. It does. Shit. That's a scary statistic. Yeah, it fucking is. And it's a real one. Anyway, we won't get into all that. One of the pubs near me turned its car park into a beer garden, and they barely get 150 visitors a day. They would have gotten over 900 visitors 15 to 20 years ago. That's the way it is, all right. Norman Donny says, I've just finished a ciggy. Man, Norman. The biggest thing is the cost of it and the impracticality of relying on taxis and public transport for in the rural areas. Far tells us he smokes a pipe. An awful lot of country pubs are gone bust. They are. The banning of indoor vaping for those who do, there should be allowed a vaping room indoors for most pubs that can arrange proper. Yeah. Mind you, now he's a vapor. And yeah, the vaping thing now was interesting because you know, a lot of this vaping stuff is I don't know what kind of vapes you use or whatever, but a lot of them are made in China, and a lot of them, you know, it's not regulated in any way. And vaping, I would call a vape a type of food stuff. I mean, it's for human consumption, and it's not being regulated, and no one knows what's in it. Is it better than smoking? It's a hard one to call, isn't it? It really is. I don't know. Are you better off vaping? You're probably better off vaping than smoking. I used to smoke player cigarettes, which will give you an idea how long it is since I smoked. No, not 100, but I gave up smoking cigarettes about 8, 9 years ago. But yeah, player cigarettes. I found that tipped cigarettes made me cough violently. So I looked around. The only non-tipped cigarettes you could still buy were players. So they were the man. But, I gave it up. Sometimes I would love to have a cigarette, though, after, yeah, even still. But it's needless to say, it's not good for you. Ask most people what a city and guilds is, and they wouldn't know. That's right, Chipmunk. Dennis, sorry. Millennium Curse says underscore is vaping. Yeah. You know, we like to look back now at, you know, things that we did 20 or 30 years ago and go, oh, we shouldn't have been doing this and we shouldn't have been doing that. And we probably shouldn't have been teaching people this and that and all that kind of stuff, right? But let's put the heat back on for a second here. Well, I often wonder, what are the things that's going on now that we're going to talk about in 20 or 30 years' time? Going, oh, Jesus, are we really doing that? Oh, that wasn't good. We're smoking these electric things with lithium in them and stuff. You know, it's interesting where it's all. I don't know. It's not. The price of fuel is what is messing with a lot of pubs here in the UK. 4 or 5 years was closed in the last 8 months due to the huge price of electricity. Yes, that's the exact same It's a carbon copy here. In fact, I would say that it's worse here because what we are is an island off an island. So, you know, if England sneezes, if the U, well, I should say the UK, if the UK sneezes, Ireland gets the flu, and that's always been true. And there's a lot of people in Ireland that, no, I'm not going to say that because I keep it strictly non-political here, so that goes for me too. So I'm not going to, yeah, no, I won't go down that road. We know the crack. Reese, good evening, Reese. How are you, sir? 37 watching. 37 watching, that's not bad for a Sunday evening for the gobbler in his shed. All right, that's not bad. The only issue I have with it all is the young people have taken up vaping who would never touch the city. Absolutely, Roundy. That is very true. That is very true. Mark did the C&G 224 course. Very good. Good man. I sent someone your way for advice. Hope you don't mind. He was asking for help on repair on a Facebook for something of his late father's. Says Reese. Yeah, it's all right. If he comes my way, I'll try and steer him straight. Roundy Mooney makes a good comment there. Get him to join. There is a City and Guilds 224 type course that you can do in Dublin still, but it's tied in with some diploma in computers or some shit. But what I heard was that a lot of the alcoholics and drug addicts and stuff like that, who are on what's fast called now these days, get sent on the course as a sort of a back to work thing. So you pay your couple of grand and then you get stuck with all these arseholes. So it's not a goer. What make of caravan are you in, mate? Who's in a caravan? I'm not in a caravan. Lecky Insurance are the big business killers here. They are indeed, Jerry. I mentioned those regular lives. The UK's influence on EI is dwindling now, though. I won't get into why. No, will not. You say, yeah, no, stuff and shit. It's all I'll say is this around here, and I'll put it very plainly for someone who tries to keep it as clean as it can. But I will just say this because it is 8:45 or near enough. It's a fucking mess. Underscore also did 224. Roundy Mooney, I did C&G modules back in the day as part of getting my trade cert. I love the way he puts into brackets electrician, just in case no one ever guessed. Reese, he was in Dublin, I think. Same roundy. Did you do the AM too? No. That one doesn't ring a bell. Most likely not required in the eye. Probably. Sorry, it has the shape, but the ceiling is too high. Sorry. Oh, you think this? Oh, this isn't a caravan. This is a wooden shed. This is a wooden shed. Oh. Caravans do make good sheds, though. There is a YouTuber. I can't remember his name now. Well, he's not really a YouTuber, but he put videos on YouTube and he collects, amongst many things he collects, are communications receivers. And he has them all in a caravan, set up, working. Wonderful. Reese says it's a 3-day installation with inspection and testing and then a fault finding, but in a hotel for 3 days wasn't too bad. Sounds like a bit of crack. A safe isolation procedure. Lockout, tag out. Lockout for your life. Yeah. Key in the pocket and all that jazz. Key in the pocket. Now, the last place that I worked, I've gone through a couple of jobs lately, well, in the last year. But the last place I worked, they had lockout, tag out. But you had a lockout box. You didn't, right? So you had one master lock on the switch. Then that key went into a box. And then all the individual locks went around that box and the key was in the box. It was interesting. A lockout box. Yeah. Driver did, I did City Guilds 2010, 2320 and 2828. Can't remember any of it. Then again, it was back in 99, 2000. I don't understand all that. It's too complicated. There's 39 people watching with 44 thumbs up, which means, well, we've broken our threshold. I don't think we're going to break the record tonight, but we will see as the night continues on. I mean, anything is possible. What was the record, Roundy? I think the record was, I think we smashed the 50. Was it 52 we got that night? I think it was in that ballpark. I'm just looking at my radio controlled little clock here, and I was just watching the time on the screen, and bang on, it just clicked over onto 41 the same time that the computer did. Which means my phone is out by a second or two. Maybe the computer and the clock are out by it. You see, a man with one clock knows what time it is. A man with two clocks. The night is still young, says White Sapphire. It is indeed. My good lady. It is indeed. So, anyway, 54. Was it 54, Kev? 52 or 53? Don't know, it was 54. I know we smashed it that night. That's only a couple of weeks ago, too. Anyway, I got away from something that I was going to discuss much earlier on, which was talking about car radio. So we talked about the all-transistor Pi car radio, which, garnered a lot of interest as such. And then I said I had something more interesting. I don't know if anyone watched the last video or not. I know it didn't get a great uptake. However, somebody in that video asked me, did I ever work on a valve car radio? And then the very next day I got produced this item. Quite interesting. And of course, we will see that it is of the brand name Pi. It's a Valve Pi radio. Valve Pi car radio. So we'll be having a go with that at some stage in the near future. You can see this in your 1952 Morris Oxford or something, right? And it's got U series valves. I thought it would have had E series valves in it, but U series valves. So it's going to be an interesting machine. We'll see if we can get it going. Oh, good man, Round. You got there before me to okay that comment because it said a bad word. Pi was something to do with Philips. It sure was. I think Philips were the parent company of Pi, going back to the 50s, I think, early 50s. But Pi were on total self-control until I think it was the late 70s. Then you started seeing things like G11s and stuff branded Pi, and that was the end of Pi. And then shortly after that, Pie and Dundrum closed down and whatever, and Pie were no more. And then Pie was just, Philips badge stuff. How far would Tesla travel with the on? Pie used to be Pie Cambridge. Well, the factory's in Pie Cambridge, but the Pie Dundrum as well. Mullard too, that's right. Mullard were also tied in with Philips. Sorry, I'm missing something here. I have to scroll back up through the old chat. Come on, you little mouse. Oh, how far will a Tesla travel with it on? Obviously, he's talking to car radio. Sorry, Ray. I was kind of away with the ferries. Not very far, I should imagine. I would imagine it is incredibly current hungry. If it drawed 5 to 10 amps, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, who wants a Series 1 Land Rover with a bloody Tesla running gear in it? Mullard used to be, when you could put like a Perkins engine in it and just run it on, I don't know, coconut oil or some shit. Eco-friendly. Well, Norman says Pie Limited, blah, 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 was merged. I don't think they were merged so much as they went in and shot everyone that worked in Echo and took it over. Philips were huge at one point, not so huge now. And as Jerry says, Philips and Pie and Dundrum, Philips and Clonskeagh, all gone. Yep. I remember the Muller Philips place at Southampton. Little known fact about EK Cole and Company, they were a major subcontractor to GPO. Bakelite phones were Echo Castings. Ah, yeah. Well, I did know they were very big in Bakelite castings in general. I think they made a lot of different Bakelite stuff. In general, I think they used to make toys and all sorts of stuff. I think they were bigger in Bakelite than they were actually in electronics. Mooney says, I fully intend on getting a classic Landy if biofuel ever comes. Well, the real old ones, Roundy, diesel ones, will run on anything, but they will run on waste engine oil. Straight. Just bang in a few extra filters, but they'll start and run on it. I was with a gentleman up in Cavan there a couple of months ago. Well, going back nearly 6 or 7 months ago now. And I drove his, it was a Series 2 Land Rover diesel. And I drove it. And it was running on a 50-50 mix of dirty engine oil and diesel. I'm not going to tell you what colour the diesel was. Went all right. And he proclaimed to me that he had been running said machine on that for years and years and years without issue. It would have to be a cabin man. It wouldn't it? Yeah, it was a nice tight little machine to drive too. Short wheelbase one. Yeah. Speaking of Perkins, you just reminded me, I took possession of a forklift truck yesterday afternoon. Conveyancer TC5, £5,000 lift. White sapphire, interesting. What I want you to do, White Sapphire, is I want you to send me an email. And you know where to find my email address if you don't. It's on my channel description at the end of the thing on YouTube. Okay, legal question. Can you run a generator on red diesel and then use it to charge a Tesla? I would say yes. The generator is not a road-going vehicle. And, there's no stipulations on what you have to, the generator could be powering anything. So I would say yes, Chipmunk. Other UK compatriots will comment as well, but that would be my take on it. Definitely. But obviously there's going to be thermal losses and so on board. Just, buy a Massey Ferguson 35X or something and drive that instead. Yes. Yes, it will be an inefficient process. It could be. Right, lads. It's time I bombarded you with more Chinese nonsense. Oh, there you're not fair. Ah, there you are. I have moved up a little bit to 7265 kilohertz. How's she cutting, boys? Kev B! Jeez, they're not getting into the... Oh, no. Oh, lads, stop. Stop. What have I done to you? Stop. Okay, I'll turn it off. I've turned you Chinese. I was going to say I turned you Japanese, but I've turned you Chinese. Oh, where are we? Oh, no. What have I done to you, lads? 39 watching, 45 thumbs up. That's what we like to say. Can't tell if there's a... I must say I do prefer the instrumentals myself. I see Radio Cruncher's in the chat as well. Good evening, Mr. Cruncher. How are you doing, Graham? And remember, Graham, all contesters are wankers. Terrible stuff. Oh, I do apologise. That's it. They put Spice Girls through Google Translate. Shazam equals no results. Oh. That's terrible. Your ears are bleeding. I thought she was very good. 59.73 says Graham. Contest I was real. Oh, brilliant. Underscore. Yes, they leaked contest on 70. Hamza Tourette spewing call signs. Far 69, Far 64 is drunk. That's terrible. Contesters equals everyone 5'9", even though you asked for the call sign 50 times. Yep. Everyone thinks Shazam got different results. Think everyone Shazam got. Dennis says, America, Fox finned for playing wailing sound. Fox fine for playing wailing sound. China, hold my rice. Chipmunk couldn't find it. Got same result as underscore. Oh dear. I thought it was quite good actually, you know. So 37 still watching. So Graham, what was the result in the end with the machinery you were working on today? I didn't get to see the end. Dennis, they got fined. Oh yeah, for doing their usual content. It was crap, John. Oh no. It's hard to win though, isn't it, Graham? Sometimes you just feel like giving up. Dozy woman moving around in her night dress. They were both sorted and you sold one of them. Which one did you sell? The AOR 3000, I missed out on one of those years ago and I don't know. Ah, yeah, the music. I don't know how much I missed out on, really. The Normandy I sold, yeah, well, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know how much I missed out on, really. It was a tenner. It was the same as yours. But I don't know if there's that much to be listening to anymore. I think you can listen to 2 meters and that on them, but there's not even much on there anymore. The AOR was a customer's radio. Ah, yeah. The Fox joke is because Fox were fined by the FCC for 2 seconds of the EAS alarm sound during football game. Ah. Oh, shit. It's just gone 1 minute past 9. Very early, really. I need to put new batteries into my Eddystone, which I'm going to do now. You see, I even have my camera stand stuck here in the way, where it would usually be tucked away safely and securely. Let's go to show what a shambles the place is becoming once again. I'm doing another major clean. Put the surface mount device reworking machine away. Anybody you want to look up the book for CV7085? That's CV7085. It's a TO3 germanium transistor. I wonder what it's equivalent to. Now I have this converted to run on a PP3 or the 6 days. So it's getting 6 days this time. OC28 equivalent. That's what I thought it was, alright. That's alright. I'll stock that one too, so we'll keep him. It was in the drawer with all the other germanium nonsense there when I was doing the car radio. Oh no, a dial card. Any kind of dial card is bad. But Bush should be relatively straightforward. When you tackle Anton by Phillips, that's when you really need the whiskies. Horrid stuff. But he didn't stop at a couple out there, Shipmunk. Oh, there's nothing worse than going in after someone else's mess. I think we've all been there. Available for £3.50 apparently. I take it that's the transistor you just talked about there. Of geraniums. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm quite the botanist really, Roundy. Germanium transistors are getting expensive. They are getting a little bit silly, alright. Radio Restorations by Colin is here too. Good evening, Colin, sir. Remember the OA91 and 81 germanium diodes, yeah? Good for making crystal radios with. Shango used to get his from Ukraine. Did after the trouble started, and they came. Yeah, no, you can still get a lot of stuff. People think that everything has stopped, but I think for a lot of things over there, it's still business as normal. Funny enough. Edward O'Sale has all the records, so you see, at least someone has a bit of class here, you know. Absolutely. Let's see how she performs now.
Altri ancora sono rilassanti e liberi, adatti
Sounds a bit more lively now, alright.
I brani sono spesso caratterizzati da un apparato testuale.
She lights up alright. What I want to do with this is I want to put warm white LEDs in it and leave them wired in all the time. They draw so little current these days. I don't see any reason not to. Shiny used to, oh yeah, I read that. Yes, much of the Western Ukraine is still going for life is now mostly in spite of the Ruskies. Yeah, absolutely. KTEL Records, no, get out of here. What's the tipple tonight then, John? Well, I just had a large bottle of Guinness stout. And I've just polished off a glass of Teacher's whiskey. And that's it. That's me finished now. It's back in the sparkling water. Let me see. Machine gun AM, yeah, well, it's all them bloody switch mode power supplies, isn't it? Radio Cornwall. What frequency is Radio Cornwall? And we'll see if we can get her up on the R600. I think, did you have an R600 before Radio Cruncher, or do you own one? I don't know. It's alright. It's alright for a nonsense whiskey, yeah. R600, yeah. One of Kenwood's finest. No messing. Straightforward rig. Very good rig in my opinion. No nonsense. There's no bells and whistles that you need. That you don't need, should I say. Yes, I would agree with Kev B. The modern equivalent of KTEL and Ronco must be JML. 100%. 100%. Always feel like you've been done by if you buy a JML product. It's complete crap and guaranteed to break within seconds. Oh, I thought you meant Roberts R600 for a minute. Oh yeah, no, I was talking about the Kenwood Trio, uh, Far Eastern machine. No, they're a good joke. Far says BBC Radio Cornwall can be heard on. As well as on that. Well, if they're not on AM, I'm not going to hear them. Good man, Chipmunk. Is that right, Norman? That sounds interesting. Yeah, no, I think I need to go up on a very, 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 very high hill to get Radio Cornwall. Yeah, I can get Radio Wales here, alright. 8 something kilohertz. Can't remember off the top of my head. 8 something. I can't remember. But yeah, no, I can still get Radio Wales. But I think some of our more higher power transmitters got turned off last year. Like it used to be a really, really strong signal, and now it's pretty low with me. Um, Radio Scotland isn't coming in all that well these days either. I think they may have torn down the wick a little bit as well on their AM service, which is sad because they used to romp in. BBC Scotland on 810 kilohertz. He used to come in real strong. Not so much anymore. Oh yeah, Roundy Mounty. That's the vintage, the American Radio History site. Um, AmericanRadioHistory.org, I think. That's where all the magazines are. A lot of them seem to be reducing their power. That's the way they're going. I mean, RTE and Longwave, they've really, really torn down the wick in the last couple of years. World Radio History. That's the one. Thanks, Roundy. Just an odd one for you. I struggle to get RTA today. Yeah, I mean, they've really turned down the wick. We did a little experiment here a while ago. One of the regular viewers here works for the ESB, and we discovered that RTE aren't drawing much current to their transmitting site, which obviously equates in not putting out much RF current. Didn't they do experiments here a few years back on AM stereo? Not that I'm sure of. RTTV in 91, Redwood and Cornwall on the skip. I'd well believe it. Yeah. No. Woo. Primarily because I know nothing about it. I have a Philips radio with a clock that I must work on. More than a few years ago, I think it was the 50s, I think. Oh, yeah. I'll get it later. I've no reception here in the shed. But thanks, Norman. That talking about Lidl and Aldi, middle oil shit, stuff that we don't need. Quite some time ago, you will remember that I featured this light, which I've been very happy with, I must admit. Rechargeable flashlight from Aldi. Right, has a strip of LEDs. Turn it off, you can see. Right, it's rechargeable. You know, it's got rubber bumps on it and all this kind of stuff. And I have used this in very harsh environments. It has been drowned with oil. It has been thrown. It has been thrown in anger when things weren't working out. Not a bother on it. Right, works really well. Holds a charge. Very good. So in Aldi a few weeks ago, I seen this little brother. Now, sadly, priced more than this one, right? But they're the times we live in. Apparently the same 10-watt light, except with a cob in the middle now, like this. Right? Slightly different chipset. I think very similar to my high-powered torch that I have. Where you hold the button and it goes through the brightness settings like that. You hold the button, come on, and then it'll go down. And then you let go at the brightness setting that you want. And then it'll go down. And stuff like that. Little bit smaller than this one. So you can see the two of them side by side. One's big, one's small. This one also does not have the rubber bump stops. And I think if I throw this in a bout of anger, I don't think it'll bounce as well. But it is quite bright. And so far I'm quite happy with it. Seems to have the same style at the back with the 4 blue LEDs for power and what have you. So, but a little bit of a cheaper feel than this one. However, it's the way the world is heading. So, just thought I'd share that one with you. It's now hard to have a bit of battery powered flood lighting though. Should you need it? Audio says he thinks the AM stereo experiments were done in Cork. Interesting. I love vintage mains electric clocks. I have yet to regret a middle oil purchase, says Roundy Mooney. Audio I was thinking of the ones in the States. Dennis is fair. I had a good friend who was working on the DW line. I noticed there was some skip coming in, so we ordered a TV from the UK to be sent to his station. Watched the coronation on skip in the 50s. Amazing. White Sapphire has one of those lamps, but it came from Wilco's. Radio Cruncher is off the TV land now for a bit. Take her easy, Graham. We'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for popping in. Always a pleasure, sir. I agree, I agree. Have a little clock that is always an hour fast. Yeah, you see, it's German, isn't it? Maybe, is it an hour fast or is it just a little fast? Mark sent yeah, he used to repair clocks, but he didn't anymore. Okay, right. So I'm just going to relay a story to you. During the week, I was given a Soviet wall clock. Okay, obviously one of these very very cheap imported clocks from the 1970s. I would guess looking at it. It wasn't working. Looks quite nice though. Wooden thing, round, and it's called a Lantaz. I looked it up on Google. There are Lantaz clocks similar to it on Google Images, but not the exact same. Um, However, it wouldn't run. I wound it up, or it was wound up. It wouldn't run. It'd start, it'd tick tock, but it did stop shortly afterwards. So I said, right, well, it's gummed up with dirt and grease. So I stripped it down. I took the movement out of the case, and I did what you're probably not supposed to do. I mean, if you're probably properly servicing a clock, you should, strip it all down, take all the little wheels out, and clean the pivots with cotton wool and all this kind of shit. But this thing really wasn't worth it. So what I did was I got a pot of water and I boiled it up and I put the movement in the pot of water and I put a dishwasher tablet in it. Okay, and I boiled the shit out of it for about 20 minutes. And I unwound the spring enough so that there was a gap all the way around in the spring, so that washed all the oil out between the spring, right? Did that, took it out, dried it in the oven, put the oven on, heated up the oven, dried it in the oven for 10 or 15 minutes, so it was all bone dry, took it out. Hello, Robert Cross, great to have you aboard. Just talking about a clock I got. So took it out of the oven then, it was all dry. Now you're supposed to use clock oil. Well, what's clock oil? It's synthetic oil or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I said to myself, well, I have some synthetic oil. I've got some 530 car oil, which is fully synthetic. So use that on the end of a screwdriver, tiny little drops, oiled all the pivots. Then I broke the pendulum suspension. I thought, shy. But I remembered that John, my old TV friend, was into collecting clocks. And I knew I had a box in here somewhere with a few clock bits. And in amongst them was a new pendulum suspension, although a little bit shorter than the one that was in it. Anyway, I said, right, fuck it. Nonetheless, put that into it, put it all back together, set her going, and she's running away perfect. Not a bother on her. So it's going away. I've been regulating it for the last couple of days, so it's been running a little bit fast. Half a turn, you can adjust the pendulum way up and down. So half a turn down, a little bit slow, half a turn up. It's nearly holding time over 24 hours today. We're on day 4 now, I think. So quite happy with it. Very, very happy with my little repair. Obviously, the proper horologist would probably but it's such a simple movement. It really isn't worth doing anything with. I mean, the mainspring isn't even in like a drum. It's open. There's nothing in it at all. It's like something you would have seen made in the 1700s. But if it holds time, it'll do okay. The only thing I have to do now is I have to get a bit of brass round stock, drill it out, and get me a little square foil out and foil a square in it to work as a key because I've no main key for winding it. Other than that, though, I'm quite happy with my little horology repair. Anyway, 90% of the participants um, don't know anything about clock repair, which is fair enough. I know nothing about it either, except I got that one going. Let me see. I'll wind up. Yeah, I am no expert there, but they're stripping the oil. But stripping all the oil out is the best thing. Chipmunk knows the crack. Yeah. Welcome. See if you remember you stuff you bought back then. Robert Cross come in. I said hello to him. Dishwasher tabs are often dangerous to non-stainless steel. It's all brass. It's all brass, so I think it's all right. Now I did rinse it under the cold tap for a minute or two, so it's all washed out. But there's no steel in there. It came up really nice actually. Um, Dennis says the temperature change must have buggered up the time. I think the time was buggered up anyway, Dennis, because I think what the weight on the pendulum was wound all the way up, which was probably counteracting the fact that the spring was gummed up and that the oil was starting to drag on the pivots. It's a tin mechanical oil. Yeah, it's supposed to be all snazzy though, and it doesn't run and stuff. But I mean, I think it'll be okay. Man, this is the cheapest movement you could get your hands on. Like, you would not spend money on it. Like, I noticed one of the holes had a little bit of wear in it. And what you can do is, for people that don't know, you can actually buy holes, which are just bushings. So you drill out, you take the pivot and the wheel out, and you drill out the hole, and then you put a bushing in. It's really not worth any of that kind of effort at all. It's such a cheap movement. It's so simple. Robert Cross says, I made a radio channel. Robert, I did see you in the live that Graham did. Graham was only in here a couple of minutes ago, but he's gone off to watch a bit of television with the good lady. And I seen you were there under a different name. I think it's Robert's Radio Repair or something like that. You can put a link to your channel if you want. And if that would help you on your YouTube journey, sir. I would say that sounds like a bloody good repair for an amateur John Joe. Well, thank you. The best oil for clock and watch repair is the stuff on the end of your nose. No. Sorry, was doing live commentary during your story, but the mainspring, make sure to keep an eye on it. Maybe add oil. I did add oil too in between the leaves of the oils, the mainspring. Sewing machine oil. Yes, if I had any, Jerry, I would have used that. I did have somebody used it up there a while ago. Impulse clocks, yeah. He's repairing a TV. Robert Cross says, no problem, it's up to you. Yeah, no, put a link up to your channel, Robert, if you want. And I'm sure the lads will give us subscribe to you. Isn't that right, boys? Yeah, you see, that's the thing in clocks. I did some cursory reading up on clock repair, and I know that you want an oil that does not dry out. That's why you don't want to use something like WD-40 or some shit like that. So reading up, I hadn't seen mention of synthetic engine oils such as 530. So that's what I went with. Robert can't post links now, but what we can do is, if Robert really wants to post a link, we can give him the right to do so temporarily. Okay, Robert, if you're still watching, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to make Robert a moderator. Robert is now a moderator. Robert, you can now post any link you like in the chat. So post a link to your YouTube channel. Well, I just made him a moderator. So if he wants, he can, and then I'll remove his moderator status afterwards. Radio restorations by Colin. Yes, olive oil dries and goes sticky. Yeah, no, I wouldn't use olive oil. No, it goes rancid. Goes rancid. Uh, yeah, watches now. I wouldn't be getting into watches, Kevin. It is, although I do have some watches which I have accumulated over the years that are not working and do need repair. But I mean, you're getting into real sticky stuff. There was nothing precision about this clock. Um, I have this lovely automatic Limit of Switzerland 28 joules automatic Inca block clock, which isn't as automatic as it really should be. There's Robert's radio channel there. So, Rob's, you can click on his, that's Robert Cross. So you can click on that, and I think, I don't know if you can or not. No, if you could put a link up, Robert, it'd be better. Yeah. See you get up. Right, lads, I have to go in again. It's obviously all this strange weather that's affecting me. But fear not, I will leave you with some entertainment. Oh yeah, we're on this one. Right, back in a minute, lads. Where are we, lads? Sorry, I am late. Oh, I got held up. This is often the case. So, where are we? Oh no. Our Chinese station has gone off air. That's not fair. Oh, yes, love. I've a path worn into the loo this evening. That's terrible, Roundy. 38 people watching, 52 likes up. Wonderful stuff. Thanks, lads. We have the channel for. Here is the link for Robert's radio channel. Okay, so give me now, sub, lads. Rob, it's great to have you watching us. Robert, whereabouts in the country are you located? I know you're a fellow Irish compatriot, but I'm not sure whereabouts it is you are, sir. Oh no, Dennis is one of those chargy watches. Never good. We're going to have a can of cider here, lads, and we're going to knock off in the near future. It's just coming up to 9:45. By the way, when I was in the house, I said that I would take a picture of the clock that I was discussing with you. Rob's radio channel is in the county of Meath. Very interesting. Here is the clock. Let's see how well it shows up on the. Hold on. Yeah. That is the clock. What do you think of that, lads? Nice, isn't it? Very, 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 very simple movement inside it, but I think it's quite an impressive looking thing. Come on. Yeah. There we go. Mark Carlin Arson. It's terrible, isn't it? It's a finicky little thing, this computer. Operated camera. It's too clever for its own good. Nanu. I used to love watching that, Roundy. Nice clock. Thank you, Robert. Live long and prosper, Spock. Oh, that's that, isn't it? You see? Not many people can do that, by the way. You any idea how you look doing that on a 55-inch TV? I can only imagine. Mark's NTL has sub to Robert's channel. Good of you, sir. Ah, yeah. No, it's not simple starting up a YouTube channel, as I know. Now, something else which I want to discuss with you, good people. 22 degrees in here. God, Bennett, how did that happen? Hand drills. And over the years, I don't know, anyone who here is a tradesman will have used electric battery powered drills at some stage or another. Some of them are better than others. But if you were listening to the, the summer of '97, when it was all Oasis and Blur and long hot summer days and cans of Bulmers on the beach, if you were an electrician or a plumber or a carpenter, you may very well have been using something like this. And this is the Nokia 3210 of hand drills. The old Makita. This one is the 68D, so it's a variable power, twin speed. But these came out in the late 80s. And I think they were an steel body, perhaps, with the same idea that the battery pops out from underneath, right? Like that, cartridge battery. I was given this a couple of weeks ago. And this one stems from week 12, 1996. And I really was not expecting it to work at all. This was a retirement present to a gentleman who retired in late 96 and was given this as his retirement present. And it got no use. He drilled maybe 3 holes with it in 25 years. And I was sure that the batteries would be no use at all, right? And we have the charger and the case. There isn't a bother on them. And it's a demon. And the amount of torque that this thing has is unreal. And you could still get, up until a couple of years ago, replacement batteries from Makita for these because they were so popular, right? The amount of torque on this thing is ridiculous. You can just about stop it. And it's half flat. A demon. Those NiCad sticks live forever. Yeah. Unreal. And of course, you can rebuild these as well. I mean, you can pop the base off, stick new cells inside and go again. Or you could get all snazzy with your lithium nonsense if you really wanted. It's not bad chipmunk, is it? Monster. Trying to stop it in first gear, in the low gear. Bloody hard work. That must be one of the better ones, or maybe Rowney has experience of these machines. I can't believe it does anything after 25 years, though. So I was very, very impressed with that. A friend of mine who I worked with, it was he's a carpenter. He said that the first battery drill that he had was a Panasonic. I never seen one, but he said it was brilliant. It lasted for years as well. But that's the Makita. Ave, the Canadian fella that makes a lot of YouTube videos. At the time, Makita were great. Makita aren't so great now, I don't think. I think they've lost a little bit. But back then, Makita were the bizzle. I've never seen a Panasonic battery drill before. But yeah, that's the Makita. Wonderful machine. So, very happy with that. Yeah, Ave, the Canadian fella, he did a strip down of the earlier one. And I mean, you want to see the bearings and the workmanship in the gear and in them. Unbelievable. Now, as Roundy Mooney says, Milwaukee are the business. I know a lot, quite a few of the lads that I know who are in the motor trade have Milwaukee guns. And one lad has a 3/8-inch stubby gun. It's only about that length. 3/8 now, and he knocked off a 33 mil wheel nut off a truck wheel nut with that. Unbelievable power in them. There's nothing wrong with the Parkside. It is what it is. But the latest Parkside drill I got here, which I featured on the live here a couple of Sundays ago, it's okay, but it's not wonderful. There's a little bit of play in the chuck. You wouldn't be doing any precision drilling or anything like that. On that Makita, there's no play in the chuck. No play at all. So, the quality. Just gone full on Stanley Fatmax 18 volt for all my cordless stuff. No complaints so far. I didn't know Stanley were making drill stuff now. I have a set of Fatmax screwdrivers that I got about 14 years ago. Most of them are still going. I don't know if I've any in here. Probably have a few. Do we? Maybe you don't. Yeah, there's one. Oh yeah, I still have a few. The old Stanley Fatmax screwdrivers. I got a load of them with a voucher I got when I was serving my time as an apprentice, actually. I still have a few of them, alright. They're alright. It's cheap and doesn't die. I have a couple of Parkside and they're grand without immunity, unless they all use the same batteries. Yeah, except the Chipmunk says the 14 volt version, which they dropped quite quickly. Yes, I remember them. I have a few wooden handheld screwdrivers here as well, Mark. Oh yeah, Chip. It's all the small power tools I have in parks, like grinders, nibblers, etc. Oh yeah. No, like they're okay for what they are. I mean, I think if you're working a sheet metal working fabrication company now, you wouldn't be using them. But for your not bit of work, they're grand for what they are. Yeah, the batteries. I noticed that with the little stuff now that the batteries are fucking mad money. Yeah, the batteries are nuts. So who have we got watching now? We've got 46 people watching. Do throw your name in the hat here if you're watching. We have Audio Al, Far64, Jerry BVR, Kev B, Mark's NTL, Restorations by Colin, Rob's Radio Channel, Roundy Mooney, and the Chipmunk. Anyone else there throw their hat in the ring? Kev B? Anyone else? Irvine 70? Anyone else there now? Come on. 46 people watching now. There must be more than 9 of you who want to comment. White Sapphire? Yeah. Norman Donnelly. Okay. Anyone else there? Come on. Quick. Throw your hat in the ring. Don't be afraid. If you're a non-commenter, like, do we still have Barry watching? I know Baskip, he always says hello, but he never says anything else. Is he still watching? Have we only got anyone else watching? Don't be shy. Ian Deacon is here with a glass of water. Wonderful. Anyone else there want to throw in? Come on, 48 people watching now. Surely someone wants to say hello for the first time ever. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid to say hello. As Rowney Mooney will say, we always like to see new people commenting and saying hello and what have you. We are a community here after all. So we're always interested to hear from new people. The more the merrier. Rob's radio channel. Put this channel moderator. Put this channel moderator. Alright. Why shouldn't I? Huh? There you go. So now you can send a link to your channel if you want. We'll leave you as a channel moderator for this evening. Okay. Leslie Diamond, hello, John. Just got back from looking after the grandchildren. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Right, Rob, do whatever it is. Put a link to whatever it is you want to do. And your moderator status will be removed in the morning. Because we don't want Roundy Mooney getting jealous. Leslie, hi, click the thumbs up. Get him past the record. What's the record for thumbs up, actually? There's something I haven't been winding. I know concurrent viewers, I think, was 52. But what's the thumbs up record, Roundy? No, you can't, Roundy. That's for life. You're in the stockade for life. No. No idea. No, neither do I. I never kept much of a record on that. Maybe I should have. But there's so many metrics with one with for which one should watch. Roundy doesn't sound like a jealous punk. You'll be surprised, Chipmunk. Rob says he's not a bad lad. And we want to agree with him. The only way you get that is by looking back. A clash of the big blue spanners. The last thing we want to see here, White Sapphire, is two fellas clashing their big blue spanners together. I mean, that would just be not, it just wouldn't be right, would it? Oh, the thoughts of it is terrible, isn't it? Strong stuff. Two weeks ago, I got 62 thumbs up. We're not going to break that tonight. I don't think so. Very full beard, good beard, is it? You trim. I usually give it a run at a once a month or so. Far says Rank Radio International, and I say, oh no, bad memories. Right, we need 6 more. 6 more, yeah. Who hasn't thumbs up? You've 74 on the. You've 74 on the first one. Ah, yeah, but that doesn't count for in the live. I mean, people can like afterwards, but that doesn't, it has to be in the moment, round. Can you rub your tummy and tap your head? No, unfortunately not. I'm off to get some sleep. Been up since 4 a.m. Oh, Jesus, we'll get to bed then. Driver film shortwave. We shall see you in the next one. Take care of yourself. Thank you very much for tuning in and liking and subscribing, which is always wonderful. Do you know what he must do here someday? Although this workshop is very small, in the future, maybe many, many, many years down the road from here, we may have a bigger workshop. But wouldn't it be great crack to get Andy, Steve, and the Radio Cruncher all in the one workshop together? I think that would be interesting. I'm moderator on another YouTube channel. I remove trolls off the chat. Help out. Do you want to remain as a moderator, Robert? I thought you wanted to be a moderator to send a link in the chat, which I often do for people. All right, Robert, you can keep the blue spanner. I think we did say at one stage here, and I think it might have been Chipmunk that said this, that we need one moderator to every 20 viewers. We've got 43 viewers now, so we need 2 moderators. Although, to be honest, I think this channel will run without any moderators because everyone is so well behaved. And I also think that keeping the subscribers can only comment is a great help. Even though I have it down to 1 minute. It wasn't you. I thought it was you. This is going back a long time ago, mind you. This is going back to when I made Roundy Mooney a moderator. So, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago. Yeah, the subs only is helpful too because it does. The robots don't seem to be able to penetrate that barrier. Because I remember one night here, I forgot, and it went live, and the next thing there was all this sex 369 and all this shit and links and weird shit coming up in the chat, and it just ruins it for everyone, you know. I mean, this thing is, it's about vintage technology conversation, and we sort of center around that, and everyone here gets the gist of the thing and what it's about. I think I would be very surprised if there's anyone here that doesn't have an interest in vintage electronics. If there is the odd person who slinks in or whatever, that's okay. But I mean, it's always going to be centered around that. It's going to be apolitical and what have you. It's going to be about all this kind of shit, you know. And that's what it should be about. There's loads of other places to go for other stuff that is not centered around this, and that's fair enough too. We all like to do other things as well. But the biggest job of any moderator in a decent stream is to post links to stuff mentioned. There you go, Rob. That's a big ask for you there now. You're gonna have to be ready to post links, take some of the pressure off Roundy Mooney. Because in fairness to Roundy Mooney, I mean, Roundy, he's just brilliant that I mention anything at all, and the next thing there's a link in the chat or there's something. He's always ready for action. So that's a big boots to fill there now, in fairness. Definitely big boots to fill. So we'll see how we get on. I'll tell you what we'll say, Rob. We'll put you on a month's probation. We'll see how you get on. Wonderful. 58 thumbs up, 40 viewing. Right, so maybe we're in the ballpark. I don't know. It's just gone past 10 at night. So, you like the way I had to add that night. I'm not on that long. Chipmunk says, I think this stream is awesome. Well, it's very relaxed, isn't it? Which is what I'm into, because we all need to relax from time to time. You know, the real world and everything is just a bit too much at times. So I think the live stream here on a Sunday night, it's a bit of escapism as well from everything, which is a great help, really. Robert says he bought a Grundig satellite radio yesterday. Rather you than me. Some of that Grundig stuff can be very difficult to work on. The Chipmunk says, I think this stream is awesome. I read that. And Roundy is indeed the big set of boots to fill. Tis, and thank you. I know, Roundy knows the crack. There's no messing with Mr. Mooney. Far64 says, good luck. Rob's radio channel has big boots to fill. Yeah, no, not simple. Wonderful stuff. No, we're all doing very well here. I think the YouTube thing, as I was saying to you, is I'll go over this once more for anyone who wasn't here earlier on at 7:30, 8 o'clock when I said it. Due to personal commitments and what have you, I'm going to be going missing from YouTube for a while. And certainly live streams are going to stop for about a month. For the month of March, you're not going to see me here at all. I will be on next Sunday. If I'm on the following Sunday, I'm not sure. But you're not going to see me for a while after that. That does not mean to say that I've given up YouTube. It just means to say that I have other commitments which are more important to me. So just be mindful of that. And that the show isn't going to stop. The show will continue, but I have to look after more important things closer to home. Kev B says, are the flukes multiplying as fast as the Avos? I just thought it was 3 on the bench. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's right. But they haven't multiplied. They're just, I don't know, they're migrating. There was actually 4 on the bench. There's 1 out of shot. So I just love fluke meters. And what I do is, I don't need any more multimeters now, and I haven't bought one in a while. But I do keep a close eye on the local selling sites. And if a fluke meter comes up at a cannot be refused price, well, that's a subjective thing, but to me, sub €50, for example, I will jump out of the chair, out of bed, out of the shower, into my van, and drive to that location and buy that meter there and then. Don't care, because I just love fluke. I do, because the first decent multimeter I ever had was a fluke 110 given to me by a friend of mine, and I didn't realise what a good meter it was until it broke and I bought another one. And so there's 4 flukes, right? So we've the little tiny Chinese fluke, the 101, which is excellent. That is an excellent meter. They're a little bit pricier now than they were when I bought this. I think this was around €40 at the time, €39, something like that. Excellent meter. Highly recommend that to anyone starting electronics. This was a skip find, Fluke 29. That was an electrician. I knew, threw that in the skip one day and it fit thickness. And I took it straight out of the skip and brought it home, fixed it. And I brought it down to the bowser and I showed it him working. And he said, fair play to you. And he bought me a pint. And he says, I'm delighted that you saved it. He actually bought it as an apprentice. And it was just a dirty range switch. That's a Fluke 83 Mark III. Bought that for €60 or €50, something like that. I can't remember. Broken input jacks. I fixed them with a bit of copper pipe. I don't think it meets its cat ratings anymore. But that has been my go-to meter for years and years, probably 6-10 years. And then that's a Fluke 28 Mark II, which is... Anyone wants to know about this, look at EEV blog, Fluke 28 Mark II. So have a look at this. It floats, for a start. I think it's more or less impossible to kill this. And I bought this for a reasonable price. It wasn't a giveaway price, but for what it is, it was very reasonable. And I'm very, 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 very happy with that. I came with the leads and the book and all the shit. So they're the 4 flukes there. I have more. I have some older flukes and some other stuff. I think I have 3 more fluke meters on top of those. Robert says he is a Fluke 87, which of course is the golden grail, the holy chalice of Fluke meters. The 28 Mark III is electrically the same as the 87 Mark V. Chipmunk says he'll miss me. Oh, don't worry, I'll be back, chipmunk. You needn't panic. I noticed one Avo off his right knee taking a defensive position. Oh, yes. See, they're all, see, the Avos are like the back line of defense, but the and the flukes, they go in first. Yeah, the Avos are heavy artillery. Hiya, Ray. Yes, been 2 double pento trials in the output stages. What? Where? I don't know where that came from. Then you turn up naked and the seller reports you to the Gardaí. No. Rayburn, I had one of them. They were the last Valve radio. Salva radio? I don't know. I'm out of touch here with this. Rob's Radio Channels, he's bought a Fluke multimeter. That was the 87 he was talking about. Well, money well spent. Invested well, Robert. You'll never go wrong. You buy it, you can do a lot of things if you have the money. If you have the money to spend on a multimeter, I would still say Fluke are the bee's knees, and you'll never doubt yourself with a Fluke. Whereas, if you have some cheap piece of shit, like after that, as I said, the first proper multimeter I had was a Fluke 110 that my friend gave me. And after a number of years, the shaft for the knob broke on it. It fell one day, it landed on its face, broke the shaft for the knob, glued it up, worked again for a few months, broke again, right? That's the end of that. So I went into Maplin and I bought a UT60A, I think it was. And I went home and it was dreadful. It was so slow. I wouldn't say it was inaccurate, but it was just so slow, clunky to use. It was just terrible. And I got so annoyed with it, I left it on the bring and buy stall at the MVCF. I just, there you are, lads, sell that to someone. I walked away. It annoyed me so much. And that's when I got the Fluke 83 Mark III, which now is an old machine in its own right, but brilliant. And then the other ones, bits and pieces, followed. Skip find, yes. The 29 was a skip find. I can tell you the name of the electrician, but I won't mention his name here. But it was a building site we were working on. I was labouring. This is many, many years ago. And it was just a fit of thickness he took with it because it wasn't working. And he just threw it in a skip. And of course, I went, see this yellow thing going in the skip. Whoa! I'll have that. Went home, stripped it down, cleaned it, and I brought it down to the pub with me that night because we drank in the same pub. And I said, look at this. And he says, there's a pint, son, and enjoy the meter. And he bought me a pint. I jumped out of the shower and didn't get dressed. Oh, yeah, well, I probably didn't put clothes on. Driving the van in the nip is never good. Mark says, I'm a lab technician at college. We use Fluke 89 Mark 4s. Never seen one of them before. Chipmunk says, cheap meters are good for on-site use if that is your job. Decent meters belong on the bench. Yeah. Unity and TIS are evil junk. I would agree with you in most parts except one. I don't know, maybe we get into a digging match now, Kevin. I hope not, because I do like you, Kev. I would have said Unity were shit. But I have this. Unity 70D. Right. That was John's meter in the TV shop for years and years. He bought that around 2003, 2002 maybe. At least 20 years old. Now, it has gone wrong a couple of times. The range switch gets dirty on it every now and again. I cleaned it for a month. I brought it home and I stripped it down, cleaned it, put it back together. It still works. And to be fair to it, and I don't want to say this because I don't like Unity stuff, it's still accurate and it still works well. And he used the shit out of this. And he did a few things that he shouldn't have done with it. As in, he checked the resistance of charged up electrolytic cap and power supplies a few times with it and stuff like that. But, his big old hand worked this pretty hard for many, many years. And it still works. So, and the case has gone pink. It's almost white now. It should be bright red. But he always liked it. So, I'd love to say it's shit. I would, but for what it is and the amount of use it got, I have to say, sorry, Kev, it's a good meter. Right? I don't like saying that. But then again, it was their flagship machine. And I don't think that was at a giveaway price when he bought it. I think he paid through the nose for the bloody thing too. So it'd want to be good, wouldn't it? It's just coming up to 20 past 10 at night. I love the way I have to tell you what time of day it is. Mouse, catch up on the chat. Robert, you miss Maplin's, you would, since they closed down. I do indeed. In my old job, I often walked down to Maplin's on my break and just browsed around for half an hour. It was a great way of killing time. I bought all their little drawers out of the one on Liffey Street when they closed. Which was not the financial investment it would seem. Unity scope meter, though slower. Yeah, good man underscore. Yeah, you wouldn't be bringing I wouldn't be bringing that 28 Mark II out just for the crack. I'll tell you that. Radio Restoration by Con says, yes, a UT50C. I haven't seen one of them. Hantex. Haven't heard of them either. Everything by today, you need to go to RS or Farnell's. Yeah, I buy a lot of stuff off AliExpress. But yeah, if you need it on the day, Unity are a crap shot as to whether it's good or bad quality. I agree with that, because a lot of Unity stuff is those shit, but some of it is very good, and it's either one extreme or the other, like that. I mean, in all honesty, Chipmunk, that Unity 70D on the bench there, that has no business working at all. I see in the abuse that thing got, with charged up caps and all sorts of mad shit that happened and stuff I did to it. I gave that an awful time in that TV shop. But it still works. It's still accurate. So give it that. That UT60A that I left on the bring and buy stall, if that's still working, I'd be surprised. It was a heap of shit. I have two of the same meter, UT58C. One is a wreck, one is still my go-to meter on site for non-live testing. Yeah, so there you go. Jim Gordon, hi again. Think the Chinese balloons are much needed relays on. Uh, at the whoosh. At the whoosh, the time will be, yeah. Chipmunk loved Maplins in the 80s. A little before my time, Chipmunk, but I would have loved to have seen it. Outside my box meter was a bit iffy last week. Serviced them back to life. WaveTech, don't see many of them, even at work. Not great, but not awful either. WaveTech, yeah, I've heard that brand name already. I see the TDS are getting worried about the Chinese cameras in the doll. Serves them right, bastards. Getting political. No politics. Ray Bourne, the manager of the Maplins in Jervis, used to work in radionics. Oh. Yeah, their counter staff was knowledgeable. When did he go out of Maplins? I take it he wasn't there till the very end. I remember the spare parts counter in Maplins. But that vanished a good few years before the closed down. I remember you used to be able to go up to the fella at the counter and say, I want 10 microfarad caps at 63 volts or whatever. And he would just go off and bring them back to you. But then they got rid of him because he was obviously too expensive to have there or whatever, and they replaced him by a stand of, smart TVs or some shit. That's the way it's gone. 40 watching with 58 views, 59 thumbs up. So what did we say the record was for thumbs up? Now I am going to cut off soon enough because I do have an early morning, early-ish. So I do have to be a little bit mindful. Ray Bourne got bars and pizza. I don't believe you, Ray. Right? I can just imagine you in there, Ray. No, I want to stick 1,000 watts up the 8'6" pipe. It is 60, yeah. 60. Showing 59 here. It could be 60, yeah. Was it because you wanted to stick 1,000 watts up some pipe? My God. Oh, there, oh, there. I found a good YouTube channel. A young guy, something like Glasslinger. He makes his own tubes. Oh, yeah, I featured him here a couple of weeks ago, Jerry. JD Flyback. Wonderful stuff, isn't it? I couldn't believe it. He's making his own valves and all sorts. Yeah, featured him. It's going back maybe 2 months ago now. One of the stuff. Rob's radio channel just banged in €1. Thanks, Rob. Much appreciated. I think we've covered the ESB bill for the shed for at least 2 weeks now. Way ahead for his age, he sure is now. Like, when you look at these younger fellas and what they're doing, some of them, obviously there's not enough of them, but I mean, some of them just blow me away and just show me how far I have to go to catch up or whatever. Well, I'd never catch up with them, but you know what I mean. He is way ahead. Yeah. No, there's another chap that I featured here as well. Maybe about a month back. Some of you might remember who is a Polish chap who's rebuilding his own CRTs at home. Just perfected the method himself. Made his own ion diffusion pump. And we're talking a young guy here in his early 20s. There's also, and I can't find him on YouTube anymore, and maybe one of you will remember who this chap is. There's a young guy who would be in his mid-20s now, but when I first came across him, he was about 17. And he was somewhere in America. I can remember watching this at the time, but it didn't take as much of an interest in what he was doing that I probably should have. Okay. He was etching and making his own silicon chips. So he was making up the die, the reticle himself, and firing it down onto the silicon. And he was doing the wafers and the layers. He was doing the layers on the wafer and building it up. And one of the things he needed was a scanning micron electroscope, or a scanning electron microscope, I should say. And he couldn't find one of these. And there was one for sale by, I think it was the University of Texas or some such place. And they wanted $60,000 for it. But he didn't have anywhere near them funds. And this thing was from the 80s. But he sent them an email and he says, look, I'm a young fella and I'm trying to make chips and I need a scope. And when they read the email, it says, well, look, give us $50 for it and he can have it. And he went with his dad and he collected in the trailer. And he has all this set up in the garage in the house, in the basement, right? And all the basements over there in America. And he was doing it. He actually made a microprocessing chip for one of these early computers from scratch with the electron microscope and the whole lot. He was able to make the reticles and the whole lot. Absolutely unbelievable what this chap was doing. But I've looked for him recently on YouTube and I can't find him. I don't know if anyone else ever seen this. But he was brilliant. Jerry BVR says, way ahead for his age. Chipmunk says, that is epic. Yeah. So, yeah, he's been at it a long time, Jerry R. Right, yeah. That's amazing. Ray Bourne says, no, he got pissed off one day because they never had the parts I wanted. Gave out stink about it, slagged them off. So Harry Pete said, get the fuck out. Yeah, that's what he said, isn't it? Colorist says, evening Ray. Good evening, colorist. Rob says, I'm planning on building my own circuits from scratch. Good man, Rob. Glad to hear it. Super chat is broken for me tonight. Oh, don't worry, Chipmunk. You'll get me again if you want to. There's no panic on that. Thanks very much for the thought, though. Roundy Mooney says he would have done better to take your concerns on board. So, yeah, well, where's Pete now? Hello, where's Harry Pete now? The Crackle has just popped in as well. Good evening, sir. Rayborn. Hi, the colorist. Polish people are really gifted in electronics. They developed a code breaking machine that countered the German Enigma machine. Very interesting, Jim. This is a fucking amazing story. Thanks, Chipmunk. Yeah, I'm only sorry I can't recount more important details of the story. It's so long ago since I've seen this. I think it might have been on. I think he came up on. I don't know, one of them weird newsy YouTube channels from 10 years ago that aren't newsy anymore. But yeah, no, it was fascinating what this young fella was doing in his garage. Now, of course, he might have discovered sex and drugs and rock and roll since, and may not be interested in 1980s microprocessor computer chips anymore. But if I do come across him, I'll have another look again. But if I do come across him, I will, of course, put a link. Do indeed if you can, Rob. Yeah. No, it's wonderful to have all the participation support here. I mean, if I was to say, Roundy, that we have a solid, we're always guaranteed at least, would you say 35 viewers on a Sunday night? Guarantee it, which is great going for what this is. And of course, you will publicly say to everyone watching here at the minute that without Roundy Mooney support, I don't think an awful lot of this could be possible because he has really pushed the thing on the Sundays. So he's been a wonderful help to me. And just for the record, myself and Mr. Mooney have never met in person. Not at least yet, anyway. One day we will, I'm sure, I hope. But Roundy is a wonderful help to me here. And Mrs. Ojnaj even says that there was a kid who built his own atomic. Oh, I remember that one, Dennis. I was saying that his own atomic power station. The school were actually really supportive and help fund it. Oh, maybe that's something else I'm thinking of then. I know there was a young fella somewhere in America, and this is on YouTube as well if you go looking for it, the Atomic Boy Scout. I think that's what it is, right? But he basically built he bought, what's this he did now? Yeah. He bought 10,000 fire alarms. As you know, inside a fire alarm, there's a very small amount of radioactive material. So he ordered 10,000 fire alarms and he smashed them all open with a hammer and he got whatever, I don't know, uranium or whatever shit's inside a fire alarm. And he made it all into a circle, into a tube thing and whatever. And he made a reactor out of it in his shed, right? And it worked. Made radiation or whatever. It got hot or whatever it was supposed to do. But then he didn't feel well or whatever. The parents didn't feel well. And they made him throw it in the bin. And he put it out for the bin men. And the bin men came and took it away. And they never found it. It's in the dump somewhere. Still glowing out radioactive. But he got cancer. I think he died. The parents, I think, died as well. And it was a whole feckin' mess. But he's the radioactive Boy Scout. I think if you put that into YouTube, you'll find him. But it didn't work out well for the poor chap. God love him. Bletchley Park is on the list alright of places to visit, but I don't know when. I'd say I'll be in my 50s before I get there at this rate. That was the radioactive Boy Scout. Yes. Yes, Chipmunk. Yes. No school supported him, says Jim. Most geniuses are nuts indeed. They are. David Hahn. That was him. I couldn't think of his name. Cesium, yeah. I think it was Cesium, yeah. American, yes sir, hoorah! 10% of all proceeds go to the Veterans Association. Our warriors fighting overseas for your freedoms. He went hunting for radium clocks. Think he got into drugs. Sad. No, this was a kid in the UK from a comprehensive school, and he built a reactor with full support of the school and government. Oh, it was close enough for me to visit. Now they hate knowledge. Yeah, well, you know. By the way, 62 thumbs up. Oh, lovely. What did we say the record was around here? I don't think we were too sure what the. We'll keep a record of records of thumbs up. So we'll make it now when I end the stream, which I'm going to end quite soon because I have to come in and go to bed. 70 something, 62 2 weeks ago. Now, the only thing is, you can't look back on the live streams to see what the thumbs ups are because people can give thumbs up afterwards and that doesn't count. It has to be whatever thumbs up you get on the night. I must say, I've really enjoyed tonight's live stream. I always get great participation from the audience. I get on average 40, 35. At least, I think I'm guaranteed 35 viewers these days. And sometimes, as we know, roundy, that goes up to 50 plus, which I think is very good for what we're doing here. I'm glad that people enjoy what we're doing. Robert's Radio channel. I'm heading off to bed now. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for putting me a moderator. Try come in next week. Bye, everyone. Okay, Rob. Good night, sir. And thank you. And I'm glad you want to be a moderator. We shall give you an A for your first week of probation. And we'll thank you very much for your help with the channel. And we'll catch you in the next one. Take it easy, Rob. And good night, sir. I must say, this is a wonderful community. Everyone is very supportive of everyone else. You know, some of these online things, you see an awful lot of hate and stuff, you know. But I must say, well, I wouldn't put up with that for the start, as I think everyone here knows. You know, we have had one or two over the years. Not so much in the live streams, but maybe you commented on videos and stuff. And I must say, I don't put up with any of that bullying comments or trolling stuff. They just get banned straight away. But I have to admit, contrary to what I would have thought when I started this, it's a very, very rare occasion that I've had to do that. And it's at least 6 months, if not a year, since I've had to press that button on anyone. You know, so it's unbelievable. I can get feisty and Roundy can slap me down, says Chipmunk. Yeah, but there's no need. I mean, everyone knows the crack. But then I think that it's the topic of conversation. So I think technical people are often more, I don't know, more in depth, more thoughtful, more mindful of what they say. And obviously, we've got some very technical and very clever people who watch the channel, which is great for me, because I often find that people look at me as a source of information, which I shy away from greatly. I don't like, you know, sometimes people in videos say, "Oh, you're an expert in vintage radio repair," or something. Ooh, don't like that at all. That really frightens me because I'm really not. I'm an amateur in a shed. But I know there are expert people who watch, and I often learn more of the people that watch my videos than they will ever learn off me. So I think overall it's a wonderful thing You know, it's great. Which is basically the point I'm trying to get there. In a roundabout way. Being a nice chilled out session tonight. It has been, Norman. Yeah, no, it's 64 thumbs up, by the way. I don't know if that means that or not. We will keep an eye on that. At the very last minute, when I hit the red button, we will see what that says. I might write it down on a piece of paper, and we will know for the next time then, just for the crack. Gotta go, guys. All right, Marks, NTL, you take her handy, pal. Keep her between the dishes, as they say. Because we have more than two brain cells to rub together. Well, obviously, Jerry, you know, that goes without saying. That's It's YouTube net nannying. I must talk to JJ offline about it because I participate in other lives and they're far less restrictive. It's probably a setting somewhere. Ah, yeah. Now I think I do. Now, to be fair, before anyone sends me any emails, I do have it set. I think I have the bad language thing set at a certain level because on the first couple of live streams I did, people were just going nuts, like F this, F that, F the other, and it was just silly. So I did put a filter on. Now maybe I should go in and turn that off, because we don't need it now. But yeah, you know, there was one or two people just went nuts with the cursing and all. Like they're other, like, I don't know. I do know. I do know there are young people that watch because I know there's kids of friends of mine who sometimes just tune in on a Sunday evening to see me on YouTube to point and laugh mainly and go, John John's on the telly. So I don't want, I try and steer away from that, and you'll probably notice that sort of before 9 o'clock if I'm on, I'll try and keep the language a little bit less if I can. So when people were writing bollocks this and bollocks that and whatever, it's 11:15 now, so I'll say, you know, I was trying to keep that to a minimum. So I can probably go in and turn that off now because I don't think that's the case anymore. Andrew Barnard said, "Is this the lad you were talking about?" And he obviously tried to put a link, but then there's no link, obviously. Roundy, help. Andrew Barnard, I don't know if I've seen you in the chat before, so if not, welcome aboard. The Chipmunk said that works well for you, so keep it up. Roundy can cope. Well, I don't think that I've left a comment unapproved yet. So there's that. No, you haven't now, to be fair, Roundy. You're in fact, 9 times out of 10, I see them pop up. And before I even get to the button to click, Roundy has approved already. Oh, my alter ego is the Crackle, you see. Ah, that's confusing. Fair enough, sir. White Sapphire, got to watch those curse words. Clive keeps mentioning being demonetized for cursing. Well, okay, well, here's the thing with the monetization. As far as I discovered this channel when I came across the final Ronan Collins show you uploaded. Very good indeed. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, so you uploaded the full thing. I think Roundy Mooney saying it, and I think Roundy would agree it was an emotional day for everyone concerned. And we wish Ronan all the best, of course. And I'm not a big RTE fan, but I did like him. Massey says, everyone is scared of your famous blue spanner. Wonderful. Ronan was great. He was one of the best. One of the best in the radio. What was I going to say? I was halfway through saying some shit. I was talking nonsense. Oh yeah, White Sapphire says big live stream demonetized for cursing. Okay, if someone leaves a thing in the chat, a super chat or whatever, they don't touch that, right? Where that might get demonetized is afterwards with ads. It will get restricted ad revenue. So obviously, if you have a video that has a lot of curse words in it, Haribo aren't going to put their ad in front of your video. So you get limited in the amount of, but I don't think Big Clive relies on that too much. I think he's mostly super chats or whatever. I don't know. But yeah. But for what I earn off the live stream ad revenue, because no one watches the live streams after the live streams, very rarely, maybe one or two people would want to catch up who would regularly watch the live streams. But I mean, you're talking a couple of cent for say, although the money in general in YouTube ad revenue has gone down dramatically over the last year. But say, like, the video on the transistor radio, the car radio, that would make maybe €1, right? If it was limited, it might make 40 cent. But, this is where we're at with figures. It's not like tonight. I had very, very generous donations. I must say, thanks again. I know he's not here now, but Racing Damon, he put very, very generous donations in, which was, wonderful. That won't be touched. And he donated probably tonight more than I would earn a month off just ad revenue alone. Jago Hazard, I know him well, Chipmunk. I watch his videos. He's very, very, very good. Cockfosters is a bad word in YouTube. It is. I'm saying that. It's terrible, isn't it? It's about the shadow banning. Yeah, I know. I don't know. I'm not gonna argue one thing or the other with this, but the kind of videos I make and the quality of them, which isn't wonderful, I know, right, compared to some, but they are also an awful lot better than others, I would also argue. Have I gained the amount of traction that I deserve in the last couple of years? Like, I'm 4 years at this. 2,500 subscribers, which is a wonderful achievement. But in other terms, I often wonder if I put the same amount of effort into TikTok or something, it will be interesting to see how quickly it will grow. Yeah, I heard he's going on RTE Gold, which is wonderful. It's not about the revenue mainly, it's about the shadow. I said that, yeah. I'll try and get you more subs, John Joe. We'll ask friends to sub. That's very kind of you. Thank you. You had to approve that? Oh, dear. Well, what I'm going to do is tomorrow, Roundy, if I get to it. Tomorrow's a busy day. I'm all over the country tomorrow. I have to drive to Leixlip and then I have to go to Longford, and then after Longford I have to go to Kingscourt and Cavan. So I have a big day tomorrow. I'm going to knock up 400 or 500 miles in the van. However, if I get back tomorrow night and I feel like I'm going to come out to the computer and change a few settings, I'm going to make it as least restrictive as possible, because I left the restrictive thing in from the very start because people were taking the piss. but that's not the case anymore. I think those people have left. Have you been to Offaly much? Well, let's say he's in one half of Athlone and Offaly, so yes. Yeah, I've been to Offaly a little bit. Yeah, I was down in Athlone for 10 weeks. Quite a long time ago now, though, 13 years ago. But yeah, so of course I think Athlone is split in the middle by the river, and one half is Westmead and the other half is Offaly. Isn't that right? Tullamore. Have I ever been to Tullamore? Yes, I have been. I've been through Tullamore. I'm glad you enjoyed that video. Yeah. I got there before you, Roundy. I don't know. It's a whole mess, isn't it? YouTube. I mean, like that. Some of the stuff that comes up on YouTube is unbelievable. But like that, you say the word cock on YouTube and you're blocked. Yet you can watch some fella getting the bollocks blown off. And, it's all wrong. It is. A quick poll. There's still 36 people watching. I'm going to do a quick poll. So what I would ask people to do, if you're going to vote in the poll that I'm going to put up, I want you to vote in the next, vote as soon as it comes up, all right? Because I'm not hanging around too long, right? But I want you to know. There's a quick one for you. Vote quickly, or as they used to say up the north, vote early, vote often. Roundy Mooney, Whitehopper, oh god, yes, many dog breeders, rescuers get hit with the cock block. Yeah, I've been cock blocked, but in different ways. Wave if you're going past. I might be going past, Jerry. I know you're a Midland area type. I'm fascinated by how the two of you know so much about technology. I haven't a clue, but I enjoyed watching it. Ha! Thank you very much. Right. Ending the poll in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and poll. Will YouTube still be around in 10 years? 69% say yes, 30% say no, 20 votes. Fair enough. If you watch Ave, you need a translation dictionary. He gets a bit bloody much Kev B sometimes, doesn't he? I can only do small doses. And I'll tell you what I don't like about him. It's when he starts trying to be your big uncle thing, you know. I'm your Uncle Dave and Uncle Bumblefuck, and he tells you the fucking little. Shut up. Shut up, right? Just shut up, right? I don't need you to tell me how to hold a drill or shake me flute after the piss or something, right? So he does. He gets a bit much at times. I don't care what wing he is, but I do think for this kind of stuff, non-political. You know, you start bringing politics into this, it's going to turn into a W session. You know what I mean? Because now everybody isn't going to agree with you. Some people agree with you, some people won't. Some people just think it's stupid. Turn out either way. So just keep it mellow, right? Life is too short for bullshit. Politics is built up on the backs of people who work, right? Doesn't matter what you are, what you're doing, what you think you are, what you think you're not. It's all about making a transfer of wealth from poor people to rich people. Eliza John got first colour TV from RTV Rentals, probably a GA, 1977. The thrill of it, aha! And we only had RD1. How times have changed? Absolutely. Right, lads, I'm going to bed. We've had 3 hours, 55 minutes, heading for 56 minutes of Odge fun. I want to thank the following participants at this time. Underscore, Colorist, Eliza John, Jerry BVR, Kevy B, Rayborn, Roundy Mooney, The Chipmunk, and White Sapphire. And to all of you non-participants, a very good night to you as well. It's been wonderful having you. I'll catch you next Sunday, and we'll discuss the future of Odge Nodge on YouTube then. But it's been great having you all. A very relaxed evening, indeed. And I've quite enjoyed it, I must say. Quite enjoyed it indeed. It's been a laugh. Take it easy, says Kevy B. 66 likes. I'm going to write that down. If I can find a pen. I'm sure I remember. 66. 66. Keep that figure in your head. 66. I'll write it down when I go into the house. I'm not pen here. Jesus. 66 likes. Evening, John and everyone, till we stalk again. The owl underscore. Yeah. Massey fan, good night. It's been wonderful. Thank you all very much. And thanks for keeping the old YouTube real and alive. Thank you all to the very generous gifters in the live stream tonight. That helps keep the shed lit, which is actually a concern as well. The price of keeping this thing going too. But anyway, we won't get into that. 68 likes. 68 likes. Right. Last call for how many likes it is. White Sapphire, bang me an email if you can, if you want to. And everyone else, a very good night. And we'll catch you in the next one. Good luck for now. Good luck. Bye-bye.